What's poppin', people? Welcome back to the Misplay for Game podcast. As always, I'm your caster with a 5.0 YAP point average, Andrew KnTElixar.
I'm so... Just because the scuff can't be mended here on the show, I'm going to just move my camera. Doesn't mean that we're not here gathered for the loss of a great friend. Skype is dead, and we will miss it. I'm still Tom, or the TommyNT. Hello.
Jovial merriment, the goated horse. I'm the jovial merriment of Digimon. Undefeated. I'm so good they had to take me out back and shoot me.
Yep.
I'm JBeezy. Big Papa J, Jumbo on the mic. Jovial merriment is dead. Cyan is the goat.
Fuck off. Cyan fucking blows.
Yep, we're back as usual. It's your favorite. We're
Why
the boys.
am I down here?
Yeah, I don't know. The cameras got reset today. Marcia had a loading screen, and
Why am
Tom
I
is in the middle of
flipped?
nowhere.
Why am I so low? Like, my chair... I'm just going to have to stand up.
We did check. Wait.
I'm going to literally raise my chair as
There we
high
go.
as I can.
There we
I
go.
am also flipped, which is, it works out. I don't.
Well, I just moved. God. Okay, I'm
No,
going down.
you look fine now. Okay, now you're back in the box. Anyways, yeah,
Oh,
audio
his hair's
listeners,
looking
once
back.
again, as always, production issues. This is why we do these things live, because you enjoy the live feel, the raw studio environment feel, as your favorite yappers and elusive guests always join together. Today we're doing all the housekeeping as usual. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like the stream. If you're on Twitch, consider following if you haven't already. And if you're at Amazon Prime is up, you can take money out of Jeff Bezos' pocket and give it to me. It's free. It turns the overlay blue for a little bit. And if you're listening to this or watching it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, rate us on whatever those is. I actually got a couple of comments from people that did do the call to action and headed over from Apple Podcasts to let Marcio know that they do exist. I got
That's
at
crazy.
least 2 people. So
That's awesome.
big ups to all of you. And yeah, there's no sponsor for this one. If monetization died, it's Marcio's fault as usual. We're going to actually tally them up once we hit 52, and he's getting 20 lashes for each episode that he has demonetized.
Completely untenable.
But yeah, we got Jambo in today because y'all, we love a tier list, and we're going to do it later in the video for engagement purposes. So stick around for what is going to probably end up being 2 hours of just nonsense.
We're going to spend like half an hour pretending we have like real opinions about a set that just came out, and then all right, let's go do tier list. We've stalled.
It's
Basically
terrible
stalling.
because, like, I was so excited. I'm just going to yap about other stuff as well. I was so excited to play the Oblivion remake. Just, like, it dropped, like, out of nowhere, and it's all I've really wanted to do. And then all of my very real, very good friends have all spent the entire day going, man, you have 4 regionals next month. You should practice. So I've played, like, 14 hours of this set on DCGO. It's terrible. Not the set. I mean, my like, lack of priorities for my fun in my life. But that's fun.
Hey, I mean, now that the set's out and there's definitely no bugs at all that completely
Don't draw a
disable,
Gammamon.
disable entire decks. Yeah, if you just need me to test some lists, I have nowhere to be for 2 weeks. So, yeah, guys, I lost my, I have mutually departed from my place of employment to give you more Digimon. That is capped. You will get
That is
as
a
much
lot.
Digimon as I can give you.
Yeah, same shit.
We're gonna get the same
2
amount.
weeks, videos will be on time for real this time, as opposed to the nebulous midnight slot for members and 2 to
Nebula
2:40.
mention?
Yeah, thanks to everyone that's hopping by to watch stuff live and chat. We're live on YouTube and Twitch as always. Fellas, since we're going to be talking about the tier list later, do we want to give some fun cliff notes of what, like, our favorite decks or decks that have surprised us in the early, what we're technically in still week 1 of official release?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's such a weird question because we're all gonna come at this with different energy because, like, favorite and thing that has surprised us are hugely different, and then we've all done a little bit of different Digimon terrorism over the last 72 hours where, like, if there's not an agenda to promote, what was the point? But yeah, the most fun I've had with BT21 is Purple Hybrid. I wish that was a joke. It's terrible. No, not the deck. I mean, my standards for my own fun and enjoyment. I actually think the deck might be okay.
Have you considered now that it's not the deck in the room to beat, that you'll have fun resolving the cards that you wanted to resolve last format anyway?
Well, I would have a lot more fun if Scrambles didn't completely kill mill decks, but here, that's where we're at. We'll see how it does. But you know what? I love being a little bit of a down player here. It's fun to go on the internet and spread misinformation. There are entire people who've made jobs out of it. So for me, I'm like, well, maybe if I play a deck that was Bediff and I wait till it's kind of mid, I can be like, I knew all along. That's not true, by the way. I think the deck is good.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I actually listen. I said this the other day on call with the homies. I actually only play gas. So if I like your deck, you have good taste. But if I think your deck is lame, you are cringe forever, and you'll be sent to a pit. And that's the rules. I make them.
He is the stats guy. Like statistics. Like, please consult the graph. My deck, cool. Your deck, lame.
Just a pie chart with my face.
Medusamon has been the one for me. I've resolved none of the Medusamon cards, but as a spectator, I like when bad things happen to good people or other content creators, preferably when caught on camera. So I've been really enjoying seeing Medusamon get its flowers as the deck that we thought would be the second best way to make Dorbickmon. It actually is standing on its own as a deck that is incredibly belligerent and is, the modern format's new flavor of Jesmon, in that it one bangs you but doesn't actually finish the job.
Yeah, I like Medusa a lot. I think maybe my favorite part of watching Medusa is when you and your opponent both flip over a Gigimon and you're like, same flavor of stupid, different cup.
Gigimon was so fun in pre-release, man. That might have been the most fun pre-release that I've ever played. It's not one that I did as well in compared to other pre-release ones, but there was something so fun about like the little interactions that are physically impossible in real Digimon. But when you're ignoring colors and everything, and you can do stuff like swing, hit security, evolve into something, turn into the 5, and then unsuspend and just like effectively get like a reboot swing, it was really, really fun in pre-release. I got to do a bunch of very wacky things, had a great time. I had
many a rookie turned into Armor Purge Flamedramon when I knew they weren't going to make the check back because he's a Dragonkin. I literally did it like 5 times. What about you boys?
As a guy who's already got his invite ready in a format that was already predestined, coming into this new format with literally everyone's scrambling at the bit to find out what's actually good and what's actually isn't, is it's a breath of fresh air because I don't have any stress. I don't have to think about shit. I can just be like, I don't know, how many evolutions kind of good. I think I'll just spam this for 900 games for the next 2 weeks and see what happens. And if I get bored, I get bored. But like, I can take this to a major and I'll be like, oh, I guess I missed my invite. Guess I'm, not making it home today. Haha.
Jambo's gonna round 7, open 5 armors and go, say Lavi.
I'll go X3 again. I don't mind.
The knowledge that I'm going to Paris with Jambo and that like I'll be fighting for my goddamn life against some of the best players in Europe, and Jambo's like, I'm gonna get lunch. I'll see you later.
I
can join my garage.
There's a croissant out there somewhere. I'll be right back.
Dude, it's gonna be so funny if he like DC1s you and just gets stuck to you, and he's always next to you, and he's just watching you fight, and he's just chilling, just having the time of his life, like the VC. And he's just like, you're both, you're climbing up the top tables, but he's just having a chill time. He's actually just spectating you. He's like, hey, buddy, you need a water? You good?
I could see it. I hope not. I guarantee you he outplaces me again, but it'd be funny.
And
I know Marcia's been on the Gammamon grind.
I would be, grind is...
He's a pioneer, by the way.
I'm the pioneer of Gammamon. Like nobody pilots this deck like me. I really make waves. I'm actually so good, people duck me in money matches. What can I say? To me, Gammamon is just a vehicle for success. I also, I contribute my sharing deck list and bringing people donuts. Just classic Gammamon stuff. Gammamon.
He likes chocolate. He doesn't eat donuts.
Oh, sorry, chocolate on donuts. My bad, bro.
Marcia doesn't
okay.
watch the show.
Marcia doesn't watch the shows.
Yeah, fuck no. What? I was trying to explain this concept of like people are like, oh my god, that's like my favorite Digimon, and I like it so. For me, the Gammamon cards could look like literally whatever. I don't care, but mechanically, that shit is fire. Okay, I've been putting people in like, I've been describing it as like the Saw room like nightmare trap of just like you will interact with me in such a fucked up way and you won't know what's happening, or I will sack you in security because like that's the other thing about that deck. So I've been putting
why
armor.
does the Gulas come out of security? It's so fucking stupid,
It's
man.
sick. It's so good.
It's so dumb. It's so annoying.
It feels crazy, right? Because like how many like this is their new silly level 4/4 of security, dickhead. But like we just finished a format with Tyrannomon, and they have that exact thing, and it does not matter. Like I've never once gone, oh, it happened. There it is. That was annoying. But Gulas comes out and does tax fraud for on play, and you're like, well, I didn't want it enough.
There's like so many things that you could do. Like I think I would. So for everybody that knows Terrence, shout outs to Terrence when he eventually listens to this at work, and instead of doing his actual work, he'll like be in the lab. I don't know, dispensing water or some shit. I don't know what he does actually. Anyway, the point is that like, actually I lost my point. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Gammamon.
Where was I up to?
Nope.
So BT21.
Wait, I was kind of cooking.
When Terry actually starts watching this and he plays like Yellow Mirage and wants to complain about Gammamon.
You stack Terry on.
Oh yeah, one. I'm just borrowing his cards, by the way.
Yeah. They're not even his.
I own Gammamon cards, but the new cards like they're just like really fucked up, and like I don't know how to describe it beyond like why did they give the deck this? I mean, I'm chilling. This is great, but the deck I'll give in taunt. For some reason, the level 4 like picks up things from the trash. So like even if you play from security, you just like, oh, I'll pick up the Gammamon that gives me on deletion play a free tamer. So like I've played against like Exa and a bunch of these decks that have like tamer removal. It's like, bro, I have 6 heroes and I will play them when I want you to play them for me. Okay, like I'm chilling. The new hero is like a 2 memory tamer. Like your opponent chokes you 1, cool. I effectively go to 3. But the option, for some reason, it lets you evolve without paying costs, and it's alterns. So like
fans of Do You Know Ball know it's the longest card in the game, so you'd better hope it does some broken shit.
Oh, I know what I was talking about. Basically, I'll eventually want to do like a Gammamon like masterclass, and like Terry's fraudulent Sakuyamon masterclass that he hasn't done, and he keeps saying that he's gonna do. That's what the initial like call out was to. Was like Terry's been planning this like Sakuyamon masterclass, but ever since the deck became like level 7 turbo / Yellow Mirage, he's just like, eh. But Gammamon, I look at a list and people are just making the most straightforward stack, and it's like that's not what the deck like can be. You can
they're like doing serious turbo. Pretty weird.
Well, they gave the deck the ability to be boring straight up.
Yes.
Go in red deck. That's like they had to make all hero decks have like a certain minimum threshold now. And like Gammamon just like has a good enough minimum threshold to be annoying, but you can do some like Regulus loops are not necessary anymore. But like,
oh
my god, Regulus.
So that was one of the things is like in BT15 when I was like learning the deck, I learned like all the like niche integral plays I get to do. But now like those plays feel even better because like the new cards supplement those plays. So the ceiling on the deck like increased exponentially, like to the point that I'm making level 6s on the opponent's turn off of like an ace play or whatever. But it's also the fact that like the deck actually has defensive lines, like you can loop blockers. So it's like trying to fit in all the old stuff while also like making sure I'm playing enough of the new stuff. The deck has protection beyond like Boko. Like you have like two time like protection, like your shit sticks. But yeah, I mean I've been like collaborating with the armor people because like I don't know, man. Fire Rocket, it's a good card. I'm also convinced that like no, the card's pretty good. The card's pretty good. We just don't have the room, but the card's
Jambo
good.
lives on like the street that's got like a bunch of fentanyl addicts. He's like, no, I don't think it's even that. I don't even think it's anything like that. Everyone else
For
hopelessly
ketamine,
addicted.
actually.
It's like, yo, how many games did you win today though, Jambo?
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, because like the other thing is like I'm watching a lot of armor players not play I Love Adventure in their list, and I'm like, you pop off, King. You keep playing Davis for 4 the hard way. I'm straight up cheating. You know, like I just want it more than you. You know, the difference between me and like some Joe Schmo on an online simulator or in paper at my locals or whatever is that I'll pay 2 for my tamer, they'll pay 4. Okay, so
I'll pay
what can
2
I
to
say?
turn Magna X on. They'll do nothing good.
Yeah, it's the cards are crazy. I still like Jedi's House. I know that like Jambo's like Team Jedi's House with me, and you're like a big old hater. But I think it also like the value.
No, I
of it,
converted Jambo.
Don't loop me in with these house owners, right?
Motherfucker, I know you own property.
Yeah, you straight up have like your name on paperwork.
You were the guy that was like,
Yeah.
yo, sign on to the HMO. You and me, we can run this street. I'm just like, all right, I'm in. Jedi's House.
Okay,
Let's get it.
So the theory was
No.
originally, right, was that like it's just like a buff permanent, right? But the more I believe out the iron, the more I'm like, okay, this makes a lot more sense. Because it pretty much just is like a player knowledge check. It's like, do your opponent rather value you not having the buff at all times, or a free tamer? Obviously, the answer's a free tamer, but you know, a lot of people just won't realize that. And then you play like a mem set of Ken Davis off the fucking trigger, or you play the new Davis, or you play a Die Ken, or you play like the promo Davis to get, you know, free value opponent's turn. And obviously it just snowballs into more advantage for you. And it's like a knowledge check type of card.
Would you rather have $1 or $2? That's basically
Yeah,
what
that's
I Love
the crux
Adventure
of the
is.
argument.
If I check Island of Adventure and it spits out promo Davis, play a Vmon, and then the next security is Magnon, which has happened to me 4 times this weekend, I'll do a handstand in traffic.
Yeah, that's valid. I think I don't know. I think both the cards are really, really good. I think they're both being slept on. They have there's something really funny about your armors like accidentally living in security because you made them 15k. Whoop. But yeah, I know armor's fun. We're testing a bunch of cool stuff. But I don't know. BT21 just all in all has looked like a really fun set. It feels like there were no duds.
Fun. I feel
Outside
there's
of
a lot
Hero
of duds.
Dot deck. It's like
I think it's
Other
the
thing-
most
other-
diverse set we've ever had. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like it's this and like BT13 feel like there's almost something for everybody. Green players
Wind
are kind of
Guardians
taking the
came out in
L,
this set.
but like
Yeah, I was gonna say something for everybody.
Zafagamon
Yeah.
Zafagamon is still really good. Like Wind Guardian, or sorry, Vortex Warriors Zafagamon like archetype I think is still really strong and will be proven to be maybe better than we expected to be last set based on the things that were introduced now. Spoilers for my thoughts on the tier list, but I actually kind of think there's maybe a deck for everybody except like that Joe Schmo blue player. The armor player and fish guys will be excited, but like blue unsuspended 90 times guys are kind of out of luck for the first time in a while.
Good.
Yeah, which I
Fish
think is
get
weird.
something new?
I can't remember the last time that was like the way
The
Blue took out.
Sango. There's a Sango that evolves
right,
at
there you
reduced
go.
cost.
Liberator stuff, yeah.
Yeah, man, there's just a bunch of stuff. Like it's an interesting format. I agree with. I don't necessarily think it's the widest format in terms of like what we'll see some consistent tournament success, but it's definitely diverse. I agree with Jambo.
I definitely think it's the
I'll say-
set that has the most impact on the locals of like was
Yes,
your
it's a
local
locals.
getting stale, and now suddenly you've got 50 different decks. Like you
Yeah,
It's
will
a
well,
not
it
run
was-
it.
locals oriented set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good to
This
get a
is-
box. It was there are a lot of fan favorites. Not necessarily all tournament all stars, but like things that will shake up your average weekly gameplay.
And despite that, we managed to get round 1, round 2, Adventure versus Royal Knights.
Royal
I will
Knights is
say-
cool, man. People like those guys.
I just think it's really
I will
funny
say
that
the
it's 2
thing with-
rounds.
The
Yeah,
thing with the set
I'd
is
be
like
over.
there's like a lot of individually like strong cards, but like some of the decks that got support are like old guard type stuff, and like Hunters in a vacuum is like decent, and the new cards are good. But Hunters in the current like meta game, I'm going to struggle to see like it succeeding just because like it did get new tools, but it still has like core issues. And I will say that there is like one standout like objectively like tier 1 deck with like Galacti from like the booster set. Like those cards are just like
Do you mean just
unbelievable.
like basically only from like the all new archetypes, like just the dudes on the
Yeah.
box? Yeah, I agree with that, man.
So like because so many of the SRs are like so many of the SRs are like tamers and stuff, like not a ton of like decks got like support and like their game plans like elevate. Like a good example is like Hunters, right? Like the pace of which Hunters is able to like populate the tamer, like you don't have to play like Gammamon, you actually have like DP, and like if you're smart, you can play like the hero package to like really get like an extra little bit of bang for your buck. But I don't think like Hunters is going to be able to compete with like existing decks in the metagame, like Sakuya, Royal Knights, even things like Imperial. I'm going to struggle to see.
I feel like it's going to be another X, like an X1, like a deck you hate to see in X1 bracket, because there will always be that there will be a Hunters player that runs. Okay, there's no UK events, so like in theory, were UK events to be real, you would have that one Hunters player that is X1 and will stop you from making top cut because you haven't read what the newer Megidramon series.
I have a hot take. I think Hunters is being cannibalized because the dudes that liked not necessarily the gameplay feel of Hunters, but they liked that Hunters built its board value in a different way, are exceptionally likely to be Atmon guys. And I think it's a really hard sell to tell me to play Hunters over Atmon.
I think the fact that Atmon isn't finished helps. Whereas like the Hunters players have been chomping at the bit for a new thing that isn't a purple one cost option that does fuck all. They finally got like new cards and like, oh my gosh, I can change 4 pieces.
Yeah, I think I would love to be wrong. That's the fun of the tier list. We're gonna maybe do some like prediction stuff with the tier list this time, so it's not just like
griefing. We're just gonna grief people. We're just gonna like shoot people's dreams down.
Low key, I think most players are sleeping on Atmon, and I think half-built Atmon with some concessions in it is better than Hunters with new toys. But like we'll see. Like I seriously think like people aren't really going to respect like some dude who's already pretty good at the game is going to discover that yes, my deck is unsuspend, immune, taunt, pop guy. Yeah, that sounds pretty good in this format. If it had Tamer Hate, it'd be Black Wargreymon.
I think Hunters is good again. To be honest, I think
it's fine.
Yeah. I don't think it's bad.
I think it's like I think it's like like I'd take it if someone said, "Do you want $1 or $2?" I'd take it. I'd take $2.
The cards are fine. I think it's just like no. So like if you look at like all the protagonists that got support, right? Like none of these decks like got a marginal like boost of power. I would say like Crossart is like probably the deck that got
Shine. Feel like the two that got the biggest jump.
I feel like Shine's just not good enough, and I don't think Shine is going to be good enough.
Right, I think Shine, you said biggest jump, right? Like Shine went from truly unplayable to like, I'd think about it.
I think it's like some decks, if like the card concept of like Shine in a modern like day, I just don't think like that deck will ever be like good again. Like it'll take like a lot for Shine to be like good again. It's like I would say like the Atmon deck is like for a first wave, it is like rather impressive. But like things like Shine, I just don't see that like ever being good again. Like, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, you just haven't played against my Shine brew," and blah blah blah, and I got to do all of this, and a skilled Shinemon player can beat every, whatever. That's why you're at locals. Anyway,
I will say the 2 new pieces, well the Geo Rise and BT12 markers, like the Geo and Rise are fucking crazy, like actually insane. Like they read on paper insane, and then like every time you watch it go, you look at it and go, they really thought that this was okay, and you do turn a 4 that you pushed out of raising and a hard slam tamer into a level 6 at combat step. It's very strange.
I think it's also I think it's a tool we aren't seeing a ton of exploration with yet, but the fact that deck can make you a ruin mode for basically nothing out of nowhere with no reaction is pretty unfair.
Yep.
But that's how it goes.
I will say one of the things is that we're also at a point in the game where like there are too many good things to play, and like for you to consider taking a deck to a tournament, that thing has to be like so much better and unfair that like the average deck, because like some decks, they're just like fine decks, like they're just like pretty good, like, but some decks just need that oomph, like the Medusa deck. Like the Medusa deck is funny and it like can do its play, and it's like it's very entertaining to watch, but like if you're taking that to a tournament, you have to be on some like absolute like actual sauce. But the advantage is that this is post unification. Like nobody knows what's good. Like all the regions are experiencing the format at the same time, the same way. So if you
Some could
truly
argue
have
we're
some,
experiencing it first because, like, 2 UK stores stuck to street day. I'd see all you criminals out in the US be cracking your shit 2 weeks early. Yeah, it's really funny to be ahead of the East for a bit because the sanctity of store date, a suggestion.
They also just don't get pre-release, which I think is kind of a strange choice from their overhead. But you know, what do I know? There's probably a reason not to do it from the Japanese or
I'd
Southeast
imagine
Asian
with
consumer
like
market.
how short they already have. Like you show up after work and you've got enough time to run 3 best of 1 rounds. I feel like the people that are actively coming to a card shop don't want to finally get off their shift and go, oh, I'm going to spend 30 minutes opening a quick box. And then, oh, we're playing a fake format for today. I guess I'll go home. Like I feel like it's one of those where just like the format that it is. I mean, half of these JP locals get like 8 players. You're gonna play an 8-person pre-release, 4-person
I
pre-release.
need to start doing like the like post locals post so Jamo can like quote retweet me. But instead of him putting like 4-man locals, he can put like, oh my god, 24-man locals. Wow,
that's my
crazy.
favorite Jambo arc right now. Is like sees a Salomon armor deck, 8 people.
I'm sorry, it annoys me. And it'll get like 100. It'll be like a 4-man fucking local of like 4 guys who play 2 rounds, and then they'll go get pizza or they'll go get fucking tonkatsu or sushi 3rd round and just not play it, and they'll just go home. And then the shop will be like, oh, well, we need a picture for the socials. So they just take a picture, and it's 100 likes. And I'm like, there's no way.
Jambo, I like clicking on pictures of Digimon cards.
No, but I've done this. I've posted my lists, and it'll get maybe like 15.
Because you just don't have that in you, okay? Like start, you know.
Like it's I sound like I'm jealous, and I am jealous.
Have you considered making the photos more aesthetically pleasing and also more full of terrible, unreadable glare? That would fix the problem.
You know what I could do? I could just chuck the cards on the table and see if that works.
You need to have like a picture of like your Korean like K-pop like favorite star next to
yes, I think that's the thing we're not doing. Like actually, as fans of Digimon, we all need to have our
pictures.
You need your favorite 3 VTubers.
my favorite VTuber is MBT.
My favorite VTuber is not MBT. That's insane.
I'm just gonna like I've been going through like a wrestling arc. I'm just gonna get like a trading card of like Rey Mysterio, and the next time I post like first place Hunter, first place Gammamon.
Adam Redscar gave me a Ricky Martin.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Mine downstairs as well. We should
No,
start doing that.
like-
We should just
I'll
be
get
like
like,
Ricky Martin posting.
Is Ricky Martin like, hey, this is like a pause. Time out from the podcast. Is Ricky Martin like kind of a bad dude? I heard a couple people like Ricky Martin.
Because we'll get demonetized.
Oh, right. Okay, it's that bad.
I see. You know what? He stays in the bag then.
No wonder the cards were cheap.
Part of UK modern card. It probably shouldn't be. It probably shouldn't be.
Yeah.
but like, you'll go to like any local in the Northwest, there'll be at least one guy in that room has a Ricky Martin trading card in his debt box.
Anyway, what I'm gonna like a Panini sticker book like Rey Mysterio, like
so
sticker thing,
sick, dude.
and
Panini
then I'll just be like,
a shout.
Yeah, I'll be like first place Examon. It'll just be like a very like average list, and then boom, Rey Mysterio. Maybe I'll get like a what's like another thing that I could Austin St. John like fucking like picture as well. There you go.
Guys are gonna. I'm gonna start bringing my NBA cards. I'll start taking some photos.
That's what we should do. We just need to start
Lance
posting.
Stevenson.
I have Shohei Ohtani baseball cards because
I do. Yeah, Jambo. If I had Shohei Ohtani baseball cards, I'd be taking them out of the house. That's crazy.
The only way we're going to get Yoshi on the fucking podcast is if we all start collectively posting. Okay, we just have to post on Twitter.
What's your favorite?
Ask him. We could probably be like, can we get like a signed like picture, and we all just get one, and we all just put it. Yeah, we all put it in our deck boxes. We all put it in our deck profile pictures. We at him every time.
I had a brainwave the other day. This is not like spoilers for the socials, but I'm gonna start posting. I got a VPET for the V1
What happened to our locals posting? We used to post our locals shit.
Yeah, and then I stopped having a lot of free
And then
time.
no one submitted deck lists.
Yeah,
well, that and
okay,
also
this
Tom
is-
got locked out of his Adobe for like 9 months.
Yeah, I have it back, but I've been busy. It's something I can start doing again. If you guys, hey, if you haven't followed MCRDTCG, you should. It would be great if stores other than the ones I go to could get deck lists, but no promises. Right now, it's probably like 1.5 events every week that we'll probably try and contribute to. But we'll do what we can. The reason I brought this up is because I'm going to start doing this when EX9 comes out. Who
We should start
retweeted
posting this week.
Medusomon art on the account? Was this you, Andrew?
Yeah.
It might
This
have
is what
been
we're
Derek.
gonna do.
Wait,
This Wednesday,
active.
Wait,
bro.
this smells like DHM.
it might be DHM.
That's anime women on the timeline. This
Yeah,
smells like DHM.
This is what we're gonna do. Okay, this Wednesday, I want a Twitter post locals report, for like everybody's run. Okay, and if you play it, I want this to be like the Brick Boys and the Unkers, type shit. I
We
want
need a
people to
name.
know.
Are we the misplayers?
No, that's so nothing. Come
Well,
on.
I voted for
misplayers.
Astralcaster. Okay,
So did
I
I.
voted for Astralcaster.
So did I. Who are these people that voted for Misplay per game? Roll call. Show yourself.
Yeah, if you're in chat and you were here at episode 5, let us know so I can flame
I
you.
just thought M4G was like a good little abbreviation.
that's
Oh,
fine.
it's your fault? It's your fault?
No, we could have been another.
I had no say in this. I'm a guest.
No, I'm saying but Andrew put it out to the public on who wanted to vote for the name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
So
if we
did you
shortened
give
it to
a-
Astralcaster, we'd be another AC. We'd be up there with
But we
Animal
could've been
Crossing.
Asscast.
Yeah, Askcast. What? It was right
Asscast
there.
kind of went crazy.
I need everybody who voted for Misplay for game to show up. Okay,
I think
need you-
another thing that we need to do is that you'll see Jorge's Bandai name is
Yeah.
Metal Empire, so that's his team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we all just put our team on our Bandai names.
yeah, we just need to all be
Can you
M4G.
change
Yeah,
your
we
name on your
probably
Bandai
can.
account?
Yeah, you can do it anytime.
That's sick. I had no idea.
All right. Okay. So all right. But before we get into the tier,
This
list,
is not
okay,
much of a
checklist-
podcast. We're kind of just talking as friends right now.
Yeah, we're just
That's all. What?
Yeah. What?
That's the show. Listen, the show is simultaneously an engine for which we play a bad game show that none of us spend enough time working on, yapping, and occasionally a serious bit of content we like. But that last part is not. It's not in thirds. It's it's 1/8 of the show is real stuff.
Yeah, you never know what you're getting here. Most podcasts fall into glorified interview with some riffing. 3 guys that have been given a microphone and a platform. I love DGU. Those are my goats.
So true. So true.
Yeah, or just a game show. The game show stuff goes crazy. That's why other people have started doing game shows. But yeah. Do we
This
want to
one's
go on to the thing that
expect a
everyone's
po-
here for?
Yeah, sure. We can start doing it. Make sure to like the stream, guys. Go on.
Yeah,
YouTube and
please,
like the
before you
stream.
send it to everybody, like the stream, like it on YouTube, follow on Twitch. Twitch Prime is free, blah, blah, blah. You guys heard the plugs. Follow us on Spotify, on Apple
I
Podcasts.
better see retweets whenever our shit goes live. I'm doing this for when I say free, it's basically if Andrew gets paid in a booster box for casting something and I'm there, I'll be this is my cut, and I just take the altar that I like the most. Okay, that's my payment.
That's how that works.
Yeah, when we cast an event and he gets the box, because they
That's
they'll never
crazy.
the only time I got sent stuff directly to me was when I did it with No Heroes. Most of the time, if I'm casting with Andrew, the stuff goes to him. So then he opens the box and I go, that altar I like more than the other altar. That's my payment.
Yeah, he
Boom.
sniped the Sango when Trix was right there.
my
That's insane.
payment. No, my payment. What the fuck?
Beautiful.
I fucking commented for 8 hours. I deserve a nice Sango once in a while. Also, Trix just steals from the government, but we can just move past that.
So
That's
true.
insane.
Federally criminal
That's
Tommy Trix
insane.
on the sticks.
Yeah, he just steals from HMRC. He can afford his cards.
I can flame Tommy Trix because he watched my Oblivion stream the other day and it didn't work. So that's the karma.
Truly the
By the way,
experience.
if you have the tab open, refresh it because there have been some additions since we started recording.
Okay, cool. One thing as well, before the video
Mid-match
starts and
fixing.
we go, wow, everyone, welcome to the tier list. If you were watching the stream and are gonna leave a comment on the YouTube when you inevitably watch this back, because after being shell shocked as to how correct this tier list is, that you have to go back and watch it again. I want you to put is there a magnifying glass emoji?
Yeah, I think
Detective.
so.
Yeah, there is. I
Detective.
believe
Put
there's also
detective.
just a detective.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
that-
detective is too ambiguous because like people just do detective for no reason.
Yeah,
Brother,
I-
it's supposed to be ambiguous. The last one was scissors and a pickle.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, okay. What if we went with detective and like a butterfly emoji? If you were watching live, detective butterfly emoji at the start of your comment, and then remember we will put another sleeper thing to catch all the people that skip to the end. But hey, if you're not watching live, welcome to the tier list that we did live. If you missed it and you're watching it on YouTube, we were on twitch.tv/KnTElixar and YouTube right here doing it live. So you can be mad about our takes in real time. I'm getting blasted by 300 ads on Tier Maker, every
Oh, yeah.
YouTuber's favorite website.
Any AI girlfriend members in the chat?
Sorry, yeah,
I'm getting a Nikkei ads. That's what I'm
gonna pull the curtain on the bit here. We should totally just do the thing Sabbath just said in the chat.
Yeah, that's
That's
we
really
should do that.
funny.
People that were in stream will be knowers. If you're noticing that we've got the same tiers as last time, then great. I'm going to
Consistency.
assume that the topic is right. It's not. I knew it. But yeah, we're gonna
Awesome.
do the tier list. BT21, it's here.
Can you just scroll down to make sure you're on the most up to date one, just so I can triple check? Yep, we're good.
Who's your AI girlfriend, by the way?
Meg Griffin. Next question.
No, you can. That's my
I
girlfriend.
saw
That's
her
my AI.
first. Next question.
Is yours like?
I
pre-
downloaded her first.
Is yours post skip or after time skip? Again,
I'm Meg Shippuden, dude. I love that anime.
Meg Shippuden.
All right.
And that both
Stop beating me.
that both exactly describes how bad this show is and how old we are. So
Isn't there like an option for you to do this? Like, I swear people tell us all the time
just
that's like,
ad block it. What do you do? Like for
Bro.
once, for a
No,
minute.
I'm going to
support.
support the tier maker overlord so they can continue to carry wash the YouTubers.
That's so
wait,
true.
hold
Actually,
up. There's like a presentation mode thing, right?
yeah, there is a presentation mode.
Dead ass.
Yeah, straight to the bottom, but
The bottom.
down,
Who's
down,
close to
down,
the
down.
bottom?
Yeah, presentation mode right there.
Yeah, presentation mode. Boom. Oh my God, Thomas Taylor.
I know my government name on the internet.
God. What the? And we still get pop-ups. All right, we're in
Oh, Shaz
presentation
Antics
mode.
in the chat.
Yo, big
Yo,
ups,
big
Antics.
antics.
So,
Bro, follow me on Twitter if I can honor.
Dude,
That's
it
sick.
was so funny. I started talking to him when he was checking for some the European hookup, and then Serial Omnimon came out. I was like, that's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, bad luck.
Good luck with that, homie. Let me know how it goes. How it goes? Are
Okay.
we gonna do this alphabetically?
Do you want the preface here? It's not alphabetical. I'm gonna start off and just tell you straight up.
Oh yeah, you're
So,
right.
A
M
couple
does
things
not
have
come off the
happened.
B.
So you can actually see me lose my mind developing this tier list. So the contents of this tier list include every deck that topped during the course of combined set 2.5, plus decks that receive direct by name support, plus decks I think we want to talk about. And so a bunch of them are in here on chronological release order, and then you can actually see from Hero of the Skies onward when I remembered other decks.
Yeah.
But that's
Good
fine.
enough.
This is good enough, and it won't matter. But I think
We're
there's
already-
44 tier lists, so good luck, guys. Or
We're already
44
doing
decks.
miles better than like Digi Slops anyway, so you
Yeah,
know.
I've cut a ton of really just things we won't rank here out. So
Yeah, I was looking for a deck, realized it wasn't there, thought about it for a second, and went, it's better that way.
if we want to do them at the end, we can. We should go over the tiers because we do that every time.
Yep.
This is not like S tier, A tier, whatever, because it's different. Like there's context that you have to provide when you rank things on Digimon.
I can
Otherwise,
just
you're-
go, yeah, this deck is tier
this
1,
one's
guys.
really good.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
yeah, I know. That's why I put it on the fucking top of the tier list.
for
So-
the audio listeners, we got format defining at the top. You know, this is if a deck is in here, it defines the format. You basically have to build around expecting to see at least one of them in your run. It
Tyrant.
may be something that completely stuffs your run if you don't plan for it.
Tyrant.
Like Tyrant. We got strong picks, which is what does what it says on the tin. These are the strong decks. They might win a regional, they might top 8 a regional, but yeah, generally they probably will sweep a local. Viable options are things that are fun to take and do have some good matchups into the decks above it, and could be the make or break bubble of your X2 and you didn't know that the deck was in the format. Rogue is like that, but on hard mode. And then Funny but Doggy are for the decks that we feel like dragging up from this little bin into the tier list, but not giving any respect.
You can kind of, we sort of got to this the last time we did the EX8 one, but like you can kind of broadly categorize viable options and up as like, I understand why you would play that at an event. Like it has its own distinct merit, and then everything else you got to explain to me.
The other thing is like, okay, let's establish right now for this tier list, okay? How harsh are we going to be today? Do we want some nonsense or like no nonsense?
I'll take a little bit of nonsense.
I'll take a little bit of tomfoolery, a little bit of chicanery.
Damn, I was really hoping for like a really harsh like ban list. I
Don't
wanted
be
like
mean though. Like if when I say all Sakuyamon players are carried by their deck, I'm gonna say it's good, but I'm gonna be mean about it.
no, because me being harsh is like, guys, I would put Ancient Garuru in funny but doggy.
That's fine. We need content.
But then people will be like, the deck topped some events last year, and I'm like, yeah, okay, it's my tier list.
That's the
now
vibe.
what?
All right, you know what, Jambo, you wanted to be on the episode today. Do you want to kick things off by picking from the pool? Do you want to be the first person to pin the tail on the donkey?
I think the first thing I just want to say is that Bloom, in the hands of anyone who isn't
Okay, hold up.
exactly
What
called,
the fuck? Who do you think you are, by the way?
shut the fuck up,
It's
you
my
dog.
fucking deck.
Let
Go
me
play-
speak.
I'm so glad
No,
we
you
ranted.
know
No,
you
you
what?
what?
We
It's
ranted
Johnny
for 5
Lowe's
minutes.
deck.
We
No,
ranted
go
for
play
5
linear
minutes
deck,
so
Jumbo. Go play something that does 2 actions. That's the only way
Shut
you
up,
can
you
win.
mutts. Let me finish.
We
You
ranted
can
for
play
5 minutes
decks
so that the
are
F-bomb
like
doesn't
swing
demonetize the
and
video.
play tamer. That's the only thing you can do, Jumbo, is swing, play tamer. Don't fucking rate
Shush,
my deck.
doggy. Shush.
Go play.
Keep
Go
walking.
rate.
You sound like
rate
my
Shine,
dog. He's 9 months old. You sound like my dog.
and you're 10.
He's a little Jack Russell. I'll show you him. Anyway, if you're not called Johnny Lowe, Bloom isn't your deck. If you're called Johnny Lowe, you're making top 16 at least. But I'm honestly, I'll put Bloom in Rogue. And if you're not exactly Johnny Lowe, it's Johnny Lowe it's tier 1. It's Rogue for anyone else. That's the way I'm starting.
Marcia's about to throw away all of his Gammamon testing just the top on his deck.
No,
Fine.
do it. No, sorry, prove me wrong, Marcia.
Footage cooking. There's footage of you getting cooked. There's literally
Okay.
footage of.
Do you know what I was playing? Do you know what I was playing?
What were you playing?
You drew double medieval against me. What the fuck do you want me to do for that board
Oh, I
step?
drew the cards that I put in my deck. My bad, bro. You win because you drew a good card. Oh, what's next? We're gonna complain that I fucking drew Agitar.
My opponent drew a good card.
My opponent drew a good
Okay,
card. Ah!
Tommy, would you start us off on the second one, please? That's my opening.
No, there's
Yeah.
more nuance.
No,
to
we're
that.
moving on. We're moving on.
We're not moving on.
Cool.
What's more to say? Have you okay? Okay.
I think
Have you seen literally any man who isn't a 5'2", 30-year-old bloke from Manchester called Johnny Lowe top with this fucking deck?
Yes. Have you heard of
Who?
Steve Lee?
Who?
Steve Lee.
He is kind of
We've not
nice with it.
seen it. We've not seen it. It was in bro. He could be cheating for all we fucking know. He could be. Johnny,
Okay.
we know
How
he
do I
doesn't
know you
cheat
didn't
because we
cheat? How
watch
do
him
I-
every fucking week.
You're friends with the judges at OP. How do I know you didn't cheat?
I can only guarantee you, chat, the first deck that we rank here will not be the one we accuse of needing to be a cheater to be good. There's no way this is the only time that happens.
This is a
today.
Johnny Lowe deck. This is Johnny Lowe's 50 that he builds every time and will go undefeated at every fucking event because it's him.
Are we just pulling them out of the bag, by the way? Am I allowed
He's like
to just
one of the
pick
best
one?
green fucking
Yeah.
players.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a. Are you guys ready for something that will upset them in a different way, chat?
Go on.
Andrew, go ahead and take BT21 Wargreymon and put it in viable options. This
No,
is
I don't care about this.
this is
will make-
Wargreymon OTK.
Hell yeah.
Just
that-
5 checks and an Omni X, legitimately a viable deck.
Yeah,
It's
but
like Medusa, right?
Yeah.
No, it's better.
wait.
I'm not gonna
So, like,
hold you.
is Dorbickmon?
Oops,
How much
did
better?
I spoil the tier list? I didn't mean to, guys.
How much better is it than Medusa?
I think 1.5 times. Like, sorry, not 1.5 times. I think it's 50% better.
Wait, but like, surely it's like the 3rd or 4th best red run it down. Like, surely Dorbick. Why is Dorbick?
Ah, I forgot. I knew I
Oh,
forgot
God
something.
damn it.
Just
Yeah,
we'll put it
we
in
all
there in a
forgot.
sec. Don't.
My thing
hang
is-
on. I'll refresh the page and add Dorbickmon. Don't add another card.
All right.
My thing is with like Dorbick is like there's a couple of decks that you need to actually like consider, right? Like Dorbick realistically cannot play through like our Courage United. Like,
yeah, but it should still be ranked. We think it's legit, right?
Yeah. No. That's I agree. What I'm saying is like the difference between something like Medusa, right? Is that like Medusa has insulation like in battle step, whereas like Warg doesn't. And so like
okay, refresh the page. It's done now.
Oh,
thank God we remembered early.
Oh, we also don't lose progress.
Yeah, it saves your cookies.
That's cool.
You have a guy in our locals who plays William. Yeah, man. It's an 8. It's a locals. It's not a regional, is it?
No. I can give you like actual points on.
Wait, am I talking about Wargreymon right now? Or
yeah, you're talking about.
Sorry.
Listen, guys.
I was talking about like.
I'll zip it.
BT9 was 2.5 years ago, but sometimes the game comes back around. And there are things you can do with a BT9 deck that can upset a couple players. And if that happens to be Garnet boosts, red trainings, and like an infinite number of cool boys, who cares? That'll work. So you just make a stack. There's like the most consistent part of the archetype now is that there's like readily easy access to a 5-check stack. You can choose to go Wargrey X and then have like the memory recoup. This is specifically not Wargreymon Toolbox. I know there are a couple players who I respect on this archetype who are not playing it, and I think that's enough of a justification for me. I kind of think this is the like last format really swore by playing like Galacticmon Coolboy. If you saw the deck profile, you probably saw that. But the actual like specifics of why Galacticmon was better was like kind of immune bozo. Wargreymon needs less justification to be immune bozo, because like it's better to just make him in the back and go out instead of like kind of playing on like a kind of weird 2-turn lethal game. This deck really is just like it's immune to security options should you choose to swing as that Wargreymon. You can also use Yu Yakuga to gain immunity to specific options, which is very efficient. And it has protection from removal from effects, which broadly speaking just solves the problems most of the check decks need right now. You're like, Wargreymon doesn't have to get huge. It just gets big enough to get through the security. And it can do that pretty easily. The 3K from Metalgramon X BT9 is still insane. So all of that together is enough that like I think the deck is just like for Red's varied game plans in this format, this is just one of the many game plans, and it happens to be the engine that does it best. That's why I think it's viable.
I guess there's some value in having a Digimon as well that searches OmniX. Obviously, it's searchable off boost and training now, but like I guess there is some value in having an additional thing that does search it.
Yeah, finding OmniX is cool. And then like there's actually kind of use cases for the BT21 Wargreymon. Like just rush to drop in like response for panic boards is kind of sweet. So things to think about. This isn't even like Skull Greymon. Like you can get into like the weeds of like cool Greymon toolbox lines, but like I legit think just OTK is really good right now. That's my pick.
Marcio, you take a pick into the bag of goodies.
Because like I wanted to kind of like go over like because like the Wargreymon deck, like I think there's a couple of decks that like
we
will have
talking about it. I'm down to chat.
It's just like for a couple of decks we'll have like largely like the same game plan, and it's like, well, the difference between Warg and the difference between like Medusa's X and Y. My thing is like, do you think that like Warg is more viable than like Medusa? Do you think they're about the same? Because like if we're ranking one, we might as well rank the other. Because like the advantage of Medusa is progress.
Yeah, progress,
like,
and also maybe like more flexibility. Like Medusa you're much happier to promote on like level 2 or 3. Sorry, like level 3 or 4.
Promote on level 2.
Promote on level 2. Yeah, you're much happier to promote on level 3 or 4 in Medusa than you are in Wargreymon. The start of main Agumon was like the guy for a while, but it's really not worth it anymore. You kind of just want to build all the way to 5 in the back now, and then go promote 5 Greymon X, Wargrey, swing, do 1,000,000 damage. Medusa offers more flexibility. I personally. And I'm so excited to be wrong about this. Like we talked about this in the Misplay for Game Discord server. Shout out, so you should get in there. I said that I think tier list content is underexplored in Digimon because like we just post our opinion and we never come back to this. So I think this is a take that will be fun to explore when I'm wrong if things change. Because the reason I rate this deck better than Medusamon, I think it's got more waves of consistently abusable things by virtue of being the name and virtue of X antibody stuff. Like Cool Boys find Omni X, right? Like there's not getting around the like Cool Boy is a broken card, and this is going to ride that out. What you do get is the like reduced flexibility and also new toy syndrome. And in a globally synced up format, I think we're going to have to start quantifying new toy syndrome. I think if Medusamon squeaks into a top 32 in Singapore, everyone you know is going to play it at Pasadena regionals. It's like people will net deck. So even though Agumon is like, yeah, haha, Greymon card game, this is not going to be as popular as Medusamon because like, I don't think people will choose it over a card they may, or like they may not have old stuff. The reprint of Wargreymon X is like 400 pounds. So
it's
like
40 now. They've gone down a lot.
Good Lord. Okay, never mind. Well, my point
I almost rinsed you.
Yeah, for real.
I almost rinsed you.
But I think the difference is like people will just choose the shiny thing, and I think you're right. Like progress is a like you can say it in one sentence, right? Like why play Medusamon? Progress.
Progress in the memory gain, like the flexibility of like gaining the memory back is like, and Gobbly plus token.
It's also like more fun. Like I'm not going to pretend Wargreymon OTK is like the bee's knees here. I just happen to think it has a very legit niche because it's a really good protected OTK deck. I think it should be in the same tier as Medusa, but I think it should be rated higher. That's my personal opinion.
So we can just grab Medusa because by proxy we're talking about Medusa.
Yeah.
If you guys are cool with that, I think it's fine. There are cool lines in Medusa, but like cool intricate game plan, bro. 5 checks, no options, Omni X.
Yeah, I mean, it comes back to what I said earlier. I feel like Medusa has the Justmon problem where it does one bang, like it takes all 5, but sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't find that 5th check, or it finds 4, and then you get to do the fun like hybrid for game grumble pop token like that. Very funny, but yeah. Realistically, what Greymon Andy has gone, you know what? I've seen all this new adventure that me as Greymon enjoyer who loves the first season of Digimon Adventure is gonna look up all this hyper like homogenized deck where you get to play all the guys and go, yeah, fuck that. Only Agumon. I'm gonna dust off my BT9. I'm gonna dig it out of the dirt and go resolve 5 checks OTK. Like the people who were trying to do 5 checks OTK were back on Dorbick.
I will say
shoutouts to T-Stunning Spidey, by the way. Me and Marcy were talking about him the other day. He does like legit. He's basically the only dude I know who still regularly goes back to look at his archetype and like just drags it along with him.
Or whatever.
B-Boy Stunna, T-Stunning Spidey. You should come on the show, bro. I like your Spider-Man cosplays. But yeah, it's a weird one. It's just like we there's not a lot of green decks on here. So the green restrictions are going to be very themed to like their archetype, whereas a lot of the red decks are going to have some overlap in their play style because red is just the most supported color in BT21. So I think you're less comparing like best red deck in format and more you're comparing red tempo deck, red aggro deck, red OTK deck, red control deck, which there is one. So like there are it's competing in a different way, and I that's why I think it should, because it's just inherently good enough. Because Cool Boy is good enough. That's my 2 cents.
Okay, I'll start off by moving Bloomlord to actually viable, and John was like, "Give me a reason, and I'll give you the reason." It's Puppet. Like the deck got a searchable ace. The deck did not have a searchable ace before.
Bro, you thought an inherent pacing was bad. I don't want to hear your fucking take on this.
What?
You thought freeing and pacing from an inherit was a bad gameplay choice. I don't know.
Oh yeah, the mushroom one.
No, the mushroom one sucks. I'm the green player.
I love.
No, you're not. Johnny is.
I love doing this show.
Johnny is.
I like how Jambo is just like glazing for like a man that he sees like once a week.
I'm glazing for a guy who's the only guy who's been able to put more than a single top up on this single fucking deck in the past 2 years and a half.
Okay.
His entire life cycle.
That's crazy. Moving on. I'll tell you the reasons why like Bloom continues to be giving like an actual. The thing with Bloom is that it's like it's mentally taxing.
I'm giving you treats on Wednesday, bro.
Huh?
I'm giving you some fucking dog treats on Wednesday, bro.
Okay. Anyway, you're really funny, Jambo. I'll say like the deck continues to be good because of Volder Arm. So like that's one of the things that it gets is like the deck still has Volder Arm, the deck still has Pomu. Searchable Ace with Cherry actually like matters a lot. Because like green or like that variation of like Bloom didn't have the Digivolve. Like Leopard had the Digivolve because of the Rapidmon, but Bloom didn't have the Digivolve. So like before, when you would consider like Leopard versus Bloom, one of the advantages was that like Leopard had the Digivolve. Now Bloom has access to the Digivolve. And if like we're predicting that Galacti is like one of the like top control decks, Bloom has like Lingering DP minus, which is like one of the few like actual like weaknesses to Galacti. Like they have ways to not get the Digivolve now because is it the Snatch that gives them protection?
That's the Destro, isn't it?
Galacti himself is protection, but the Destro is the immunity temporarily.
The Destro, yeah. The Destro is like the thing that stops them from getting Source Strip and the Digivolve.
Yeah, because if you miss that, if you try and do the Warp Digivolve, you die to Death X.
Yeah. So now because you both decks still have access to Cherubi, like you can actually like that's one of the matchup makers. So it's like your matchup into Royal Knights is good. Your matchup into I'm gonna
the ban list helps this deck too, right? Like it's a lot of its bad matchups got hit.
Yeah,
Purple Hybrid, Mirage, those were bad.
Yeah, although your Purple Hybrid matchup wasn't the most horrible because of Valder. I will say like big spoiler, if we're counting that like Megidra is going to be like at the very like worst, like a viable deck, and like at the very best it'll be like format defining, like Bloom has a decent game plan into like Megidra. So it's like that's why I don't think the deck is like complete garbage. But
I think all that makes sense.
Yeah. Now an actual pick will be that I think is like can you understand?
Can we just really quick? I don't want to start you and Jambo beefing again. But I legit don't think I'll see someone at least in the UK top with Bloom because like
we've got no events.
Yeah,
it's the same problem. Like this is one of those things where like we have to say this on the show because people will be like, actually at my locals I've got. It's not like that. Like opportunity cost messes with these decks. There are other yellow decks I like a lot in this format, but none of them are Sakuyamon, so they won't get played. I'm like,
but even then, it's like Sakuyamon.
Quantifying opportunity cost is the thing we have to talk about. Where it's like, will new fun thing replace good thing in a color?
I think the other thing is like our tier list. I'm not expecting this tier list to be like a tournament, an event exclusive like tier list because of the fact that like we're gonna get star regionals that like actually matter. So like a deck having to play like 5 rounds compared to a deck having to play like 8 rounds is like a big difference. And so like for example for a deck like I don't know, like what's like a poo poo pee pee like whatever deck that could realistically
Syndromon. That deck isn't hitting. It's not hitting the tournaments. I put Deep Sabers on here.
Yeah. So like with Deep Sabers, like you could go 5-0 with Deep Sabers easy and get your invite at a star regional. But at a tournament, it's like, well, you know. But my actual pick I would start is Deep Sabers. I think that deck is.
That's the wrong picture. That's the wrong picture.
That's literally a Deep Saver.
No, that's Seadramon good stuff. Aegis is down here.
Next to Sakuya X.
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing that this deck actually got that makes it like pretty good. In a vacuum, me and Trix, I think the deck is like either top of viable. I don't think the deck is a strong pick because it's like it's not difficult to play, but I think it's like it's viable. I don't think the deck is like that high up. Because like a lot of people are going to put bad cards into their deck and they don't understand like the version of Deep Sabers that I'm pitching to you is not the version of Deep Sabers that you have built and haven't taken to locals.
But I want to play Sayakomon.
Yeah, that is really, really fair. But
I don't think
put it in viable.
Andrew is moving the mouse, not me. Me
and Marcia have come to an agreement. Put it in viable.
Okay. I think it's format defining.
Deadass.
Yeah, but it is 2-2.
So which means it ends up in strong pick.
That's how it works. Ties go to the guy who hates it more.
So the thing with Aegis is that you have on average a very good Royal Knights matchup. Like the Royal Knights player has to be like so in sync with like what every little thing your deck does to not just like fall to you. Because like your win condition is like Deep Sabers option Aegis, and you go, okay, you can interact with me, and I just like win over time. And the deck also has like other like not so bad matchups. Like your Sakuya matchup is fine. Your Gallant matchup is like iffy, but I think Gallant is like a lot less popular. It definitely feels like it's trended downwards. You grief like decks like Crossart pretty bad. It's actually like really funny.
I just think that the deck is a strong pick, and the players are the problem.
Yes, but it's like we can. I mean, we could,
can.
right? That's like that's the thing with this is like, well, we could say this deck is good, but nobody's good at it, right? Like,
Yeah, we
if that's what we
That
want to
was
do.
basically
We
the
made
crux
that
of the last
argument for
3
bugs,
Digimon.
and we made that argument for bugs, and I don't feel like I believe in this deck the way I believe in
I
Tyrant.
don't think Bugs topped.
It did
Yeah.
top the format we said it
It
was.
No, I
made
think
it
it's
to
up like,
Worlds. What?
It literally,
But
yeah.
Okay, the
I
best
swear-
of one. There's a
No,
difference.
sure, but my point is that like I don't think we can give this the grace we gave Tyrant because I just don't think it does to a format what Tyrant does. This beats like 3 things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
So what
beats
I
them
will
a
say,
lot.
the thing that this deck finally got is that it got a level 6 that, for some godforsaken reason, is 2 damage. The new Regalecus, or whatever you pronounce it, is a burn, and it's also an unconditional unsuspend on one of your things. So like, if you want to play low to the ground and like your combo's not going anywhere, you can just do a simple combo of like swing Seadra with jamming, evolving to Mega Seadra, unsuspend, swing that, evolving to the Regalecus unsuspends, when attacking, burn a security, and it's like, well, you know, that's like 4 damage out of nowhere for like just climbing up. And then like obviously you start incorporating like the fish pieces, and it's like, woo, you get to do all these things. But with Deep Savers, you actually have good matchups. You have very good matchups against Mega Zoo, including things like Adventure. Like, oh my god, like how does Adventure, like the niche that Adventure has is like, oh, they can like alliance into you, but if you have Deep Savers option, your stuff can be deleted by battle. So you don't care. That's like the extent that I'll talk about fish, because, you know.
Yeah, I mean, whilst we've got tricks and we're talking about the players being the problem, but the deck being good, do we want to drag Megidramon onto this list?
Yeah, I have a lot to say about Megidramon, actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of, yeah. I was gonna say I think it's from
This shit is broken.
Megidramon. It's not. I want to be so clear off the rip here. I don't think it's the best purple deck. I think it's the one that you'll play against the most, and it's the one that will most impact the games you play. Both, we talked about this a little bit earlier. This is a store set. BT21 affects your locals a lot, and this deck is comparatively pretty affordable compared to some of the other stuff people are building in red and purple. Very efficient, and not super complicated compared to some of the other purple stuff.
Very easy.
This is like,
The biggest consequence of this deck being good is that it changes the pace of gameplay. Boards don't stick around as frequently while Megidramon is good, and security goes down a lot faster. So it changes the kind of slow decks that you like to see in the game. So not because it's our tier list, format defining. I think it's like broken.
And when it wins in Wales, we'll have a top to back it up as well.
I love Potney Pool, bro. Bro, can we just document the whole of Potney Pool? Can we just do this? Can we just send the cameras down there?
I gotta get up at like I have to just show up at Pontypool. I have to like leave the house at like 10 p.m. the night before to make it there. I'm gonna be a miserable man all day.
I will say the thing with like Megidra is that it has like a clear like weakness that like not a lot of decks in the format can kind of like answer to it, but also the deck is like really easy to play and it's like not that taxing, and like it feels like it's like the baby version of like a lot of decks that have been like fringe in the past or like had like niches. Like I would say like this is like baby birds. Like anybody that has played birds, like you play Meg and you go, oh, this plays like pretty much like that deck, just easier and like
less piece dependent weirdly.
Yeah. But there's like a couple things that will definitely like grief it, like Hexablow type decks can definitely be like a problem to it because like it relies on attacking. So you'd have to like evolve or like give up tempo. Protected stacks that have like the ability to ace it steals the deck's like tempo a lot. Yeah, like straight up just like unaffected blockers like Magna X. So while I do definitely agree that it's a format defining deck, it has weaknesses that you will probably not have to deal with if you're taking this to your store or regional.
Yeah,
realistically, you won't have to deal with that.
it's like a really weird one because it has
Locals as well, 3-man locals. Oh,
Ooh,
buddy,
yeah,
you're gonna
three-man
get
locals.
so many promo packs off of this deck.
It's weird, right? Because it's almost Leviamon and it's almost Loop, but it's simultaneously none of those things in terms of how it proceeds its gameplay. Its lethal lines just look kind of the same. And like the 3 damage kind of like recursive non-interactive play of this archetype has the Leviamon. It has the like, oh, my resources just go forever because I add back broken stuff. Like there's not a lot of like it does a little bit of a lot of really good decks all at the same time, but I think it's not better than the sum of its parts. I think like the problem is that like if I wanted 3 damage and like frustrate the board, I'd play Leviamon. If I wanted like a really efficient resource loop, I'd play Birds. Like it's a really weird one. But the combination of all the things together is what makes it so format important. Like you can't because there's like 1.5 Leviamons now, you have to be able to play through Leviamon's game plan. Or because there's like 1.5 Birds now, like you have to have answers to Birds. So it's interesting. I think we've made a case for format defining pretty clearly though.
Yeah. I think there's something funny about how different it is in playstyle to the last Megidramon, where like they flip the purple Digimon, and I go, all right, I gotta be careful drawing cards because I'm, might not get them back, and then all of my security disappears, and I go, oh, whoops.
I'm so sad they took my mill. I mean, scrambles kill mill, but like, whatever.
You're the only guy complaining about it.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing.
I'm so sad. Empty theater.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. It'll be me and the 4 sickos that like mill decks. Want to rip another one? Actually, can I pitch you guys a card here? A deck that I actually think we talked about it a little bit earlier. I'd like to talk about Galacticmon. I think we should do it early.
Valid.
Because we're gonna make a lot of references to it throughout the rest of the video. It's in the second row next to Examon. Yep. I think it's format defining. I don't think there's a lot of room around it.
This is a format defining deck.
So I talked a second ago about how Megidramon informs the kind of slow decks that are good, and this is the kind of slow deck that is good.
It's actually very fast for a slow deck.
Yeah. That's kind of what I mean. It's like it's a control deck that wants things to go to trash. It kind of loves the idea that you'll take all their stuff off the board for them. And Ragnarok Cannon is like baby's first control win con. So it gives you a lot of like leeway with regards to like building around other threats in the format that you have to concede with in other decks. Like Royal Knights has to play like Floodgates off of the Lord Knight to stop some of the things that beat them. This deck kind of just gets to like play Engine and Smoke Dudes because it naturally is good against other things that are good.
This deck is old Engine. There's like
maybe
before you'd play like the Shadow Seraphi or like the Vike if you wanted to like grief Royal Knights or whatever. Now you just play 50 Galactic cards.
Yeah, maybe a scramble.
Yeah, that's it. 49 injured cards.
It's a really funny deck. I think there's something really frustrating as well because obviously it's black and it's making use of stuff in trash. That the Vemmons, when they go sideways, they're the most like Anya dropping something like, oh no, I left my Vemmon sideways, guys. Ha ha, you wouldn't waste the security check clearing this body. It might hit you next turn. Ooh, the damage clock. And they just waste time with view.
Wait, who the fuck
Vemmons.
is Big Ben's child?
Clockmon or like Timemon. He's basically saying Digivolve.
Oh, well,
But like,
it's like
okay,
They printed
I'm
it
sick
out
of this
to that,
point because there's so many decks that always Digivolve. But guess what? Bad decks just have Digivolve. That's like their main gimmick. And what are bad decks? They just have Digivolve attached to them.
If you're playing the Black
Right?
Mirror, you kind of deserve whatever happens to you.
Like Lord
Yeah,
Knight
that's
X, sure. That's like the only deck I think that actually has relevant Digivolve.
I also think like again, this is a tier list about how good things are in the context of a format, not like if it's the single best deck in the game. And even if it loses to Digivolve, that means that the best control out to the best control deck in the format, spoilers, is Digivolve. And like that artificially defines a format.
Oh, he's not talking about the digital. He's talking about just like targeting thing with can't attack. That's kind of funny, actually.
And then you just have infinite redirects. I don't.
Yeah. Also, the deck.
I don't know. Maybe he's
deck
cooking.
can
Maybe
go in.
This is a
maybe
Yuk-
Upmon's the future.
this is a Yuxo L. The first ever
We're
Yuxo
talking
L.
about
So,
Avalon?
El Jumbo, if I was you, I'd be agreeing with everything that man's saying. Otherwise, your ass is going to stay in a capsule hotel.
No, he owes me cards. I bought cards and he owes me them now. So
He'll give them to you at the capsule hotel. He'll tuck them under your pillow.
I'm just an angry guy. I'm just an angry guy anyway.
We
Yeah.
describe
Our games
Jambo
do this
as
to you
like
guys.
a 7 out of 10, like angry all the time. Like Jambo's fluctuation is like how excited or disappointed he is. But he's like a constant like 7 out of 10. At any moment, he could Hulk out.
Okay, at Glasgow was like the happiest you guys have ever seen me.
That's because you were getting Royal Knight player after Royal Knight
No,
player. You're standing by
that's-
the wood chipper like, oh, I get to press the button again. And you're just feeding them in over
The
and over
happiest-
again.
The happiest I've ever seen you was when we checked out of the capsule hotel in Amsterdam. You looked like you had been healed.
Yeah, they won an all cup.
Yep.
But yeah, can we talk about?
Oh, Andrew, do you have a pick? You haven't brought one on here yet.
Loki, I kind of want to talk about Levia.
Why?
Okay.
Why do you want
Okay.
to talk about Levia?
Because I think that I was staring at Angaru for a bit and I thought about my goat Risu holding those online tournaments at Eagle's Nest, and he has been crashing out because EX5 printed no honest decks. And this I think is like the format all-star that needs to be addressed at all times.
Okay, then put it up. What are you doing? Stop being weird.
Yeah, so
Above
Levia-
Galacti too.
Yeah. Hey, bro, highest thing on the tier list so far.
Yes, sir.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Draw one, trash one is still the best way to play the game. And
If you did I put it on this tier list? I actually. Oh yeah. So actually, this deck has an engine so broken. I separately included Cerberus Monax. It's in the bottom of this
is that
document.
just for purple piles?
Yeah, I think it's a chance for us to talk about how much better Leviamon is than the other engine, or sorry, the other top ends for that engine, while also still getting to talk about how much better that engine is than some colors.
Wait, where's I did.
Cerb is next to Coinsio.
Did we
But
just
like
put
somebody
that,
who's going to
Bible?
tune in, they're going to be like, guys, what does the Cerberus stand for?
That's kind of what I mean. Well, good. We want comment engagement. If you guys are watching live, you know what's up with the Cerberus. We know.
I
But
agree immediately with the position of like, if you're
legit- yeah,
playing
actually,
Dark
hey,
Animal.
Yeah, if you're playing Dark Animal good stuff, I believe you. You can play any any level 6 purple thing on top of it. It's aight.
It's probably fine.
Yeah, I would rate Cerberus mod next to Medusa mod, and I'm comfortable saying that.
Get yourself like a nice Argomon, lock down the Tamers as well. Congratulations, you solved your hybrid
Promo
matchup.
Melga spit out a bunch of really good option cards.
I don't know.
A Bellstar from BT6. Like, who cares?
All right.
Anyway, Leviamon?
I don't
Why does it do 3 damage?
Sometimes 6, bro.
Yeah.
I'll go for 6 if I want to.
We just talked about the reason it does 6, actually.
Yeah,
If I find Octo, you're cooked.
I think the other thing is it's a deck that if people start recognizing that 2 memory is less than 4, and when a lot of these decks really like their tamers being played, they are coming out of security by an effect. And that is Levia's whole thing. So like if the white options start to become really, really, really popular, then our favorite tamer hater is gonna be like, okay, bro, like, spend 2
Even
to lose the
then-
game on the spot.
You want
There.
$1 or $2?
For $2. I actually, Leviamon is weird though. I still think it's the best rank individually. It's the best deck on this tier list so far. But it's the game has started to catch it. Volderarm is bananas. Volderarm can do some things, and when another one of the best decks in the game is like, holy moly, that's fantastic. I kind of think that, like, don't get me wrong, I don't want you to move it. I just think maybe there's like a world where it's not like Leviamon or bust anymore. I still think Loki is
No,
kind of
not
Hot dog
anymore.
taco hamburger goes a long way.
yeah.
Like, last
so
format, like post ban list BT 2.5, it was very much
the
like
deck.
that.
It was the deck. Yeah.
People were playing other things for fun, but
Yeah, exactly. The also like the hype of Tamers decks. Like Galacticmon is the deck that more comfortably hunts the Tamer decks down. But like Yuxo in the chat is saying, like, wow, I love winning the game because a rookie checked a Tamer. It's pretty good for Leviamon that Tamers are back.
I will say like one of the main like downsides of like Levy is like any deck that is like its main game plan comes from like establishing a level 7, and they like if your deck makes a level 7 and is like trying to kill you, you're pretty much like covered from like options in security. And it's like not super difficult for Levia to deal with 7s, but like protected level 7s or like and ironically like Magna X like is just like such a pain in the ass. Like I think any armor deck that chooses to not include Magna X in their deck will like or like any armor deck that doesn't play Magna X is like conceding to Levia. Because like the Levia player is just gonna go, well, I'm just going to assume that like the Magna decks are gonna lose to something else, or like they'll be like basically clearing things for me, and I just get to keep carrying on doing whatever I want.
Yes, the purple hybrid, the format.
Yeah, it's like dog and it's like the owner and the dog on the leash. Because like I would say like Ragnar is like an example, right? Like protected level 7 that just like walls stuff, like that deck's not real. And well, maybe KnTElixar has something cooking in the chamber for you.
You are talking to 2 of the 3 Ragnar players that exist.
Yeah. But it's also like Levia's biggest issue in a long tournament is like losing to itself. The deck sometimes just breaks. Like,
good thing they printed a tournament circuit with shorter tournaments, huh?
Yeah, so you don't have to play as many games.
Yeah. Dude, I love winning in 10 games instead of in 15.
The craziest bit as well is all the store regionals, like once they hit a certain cut, have to run top cut. So it's not even like some other tournaments where it's just
there's no top cut.
I swear they have to run top cut.
No, okay. You just got to share on me. I was like, there's no fucking
way. I lied to you, my good friend Minikill.
Bro, you think Fanboy would let us run top cut in the same day? Come on, bro. They'd be like, nah, get the fuck out the shop. I know you brought 64 people into the building, but get the fuck out the shop.
Yeah. I
Anything
mean,
else
short format.
To elaborate on the.
Oh, sorry. I have a thing to discuss within the context of Legimon. If you just want to refresh the page really quickly, I think all the decks will stay where they are.
Yep.
Oh, weird. Is that Fanglongmon with the steel chair? Put it in Rogue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are 2 builds that I want to discuss today. Actual Devas kind of dead, but Gizmon Devas and Ukomon Devas are drastically improved this format by the loss of Mirage. And holy moly, they're good against the purple decks. So if you play at a locals or a tournament circuit, or your store championship is just like Yu-Gi-Oh players that didn't want to keep playing Yu-Gi-Oh, you should play Devas. I actually like if you go to an event. Can I get the Micam?
He's doing Jambo's doing the speed game.
If you go to an event this year, oh wait, hang on, I have a background for this. Let me find I love that we discovered Skype had a fun new toy right before this app died, by the way.
Yeah, this is the last Skype.
There's Witchery involved of me having Mega Digimon Fusion as
Let's go.
background grids.
I guarantee you, this is my Bernie Sanders impression. I guarantee you, and let me tell you, if you go to an event and 16 of the 32 players are on purple, Fanglong will get you a top cut. That's the best Bernie Sanders impression you've ever heard in your life.
Just have a bit more Manhattan.
Let's kill the oligarchs.
This is how Fanglong can win. Yeah, there you go.
Sure. I believe it.
No, but like actually, it has like against a lot of the things we've already ranked, it's pretty good. It just isn't as fast. But like in a world where things get slowed down, it's not too bad, and it's immune to Digimon. Which, if you were going to spark notes this and say being immune to Digimon is the best thing that you can be this format.
Are you still on? Because you're not on show. You can't do Mother Shoto, right?
No,
so,
I'm not on Mother Shoto.
What's the one that? What's the one of those 2 that makes
you
it?
play like your Mishinramon, and you play like Demi-Mero.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes people don't play Shoto. You don't play Mother D Reaper. Well, some people do, but my experience and the versions I've had more success with are no Mother D Reaper, sometimes no Shoto, and then you play like your purple machine.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I mess with it. Fellas,
fellas.
What do we think of?
Let's talk about Angels. The deck.
Sure.
I think it's like
it's a strong pick.
I was going to agree.
Oh, so it's me.
No. I want to put the deck in strong picks, but I feel like this deck, despite getting like Tamer Interaction and Valder Arm, it'll still randomly get folded by like stupid shit.
Doesn't it also lose to other Valder arms?
But I think it losing to like other decks is not like accurate to like how good the deck actually is. I think Angels is like probably the first like tier 1.5 / like strong pick deck. I think it's like correct to put it there. Raziel giving you Tamer Interaction and heal is like, it's pretty good. I don't know, man. A deck that didn't have Tamer Interaction now does.
Dominimon still is Dominimon.
Yeah, sometimes they'll just go Magnangemon, whoop whoop whoop, make guy.
Get even better because they're getting a Patamon that gives barrier, so you don't have to play the Gammamons anymore. You can probably play a different one. Yeah.
Loses to like exactly the Digivolve. But
like our decks are playing Digivolve, so
it also doesn't like playing against some like Hexablock Galaxy stuff, right? Like just being able to take all their swings away is really cringe. But like we haven't covered Hexablock Galaxy. We'll come to that later. I don't think it's going to be
off. Just like if you were to assess, like imagine this is like the meta game that you have to play next week. Like those decks that are like on the tier list right now. You have a winning matchup into all the decks up there. You don't care about Megidra because you just go, okay, cool, you blow up the board. I will burn 1 security to protect everything, and then Angelmon recover 1. Levia is like really annoying for both players because it's like this cherry pie so good and then this cherry pie so bad. It's just like one guy trying to kill the other guys, and then the other guy's just like, no, stop trying to kill my guys and recovering. It's like it sucks for both players. And then Galacti, you have lingering DP minus. Just drop Cherubi.
You can also save your entire board against Megi with the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. It's just like turn 1.
And like at worst, they make you use 2 security because you have to hide against retaliate as well.
Jumbo, did you get your nice Angelmons?
Oh no, I have like 2. I need to get 2 more. They're just on big orbit though. Yeah, just on big orbit though. So.
Also, this deck got like marginally cheaper. The Patamon and the Angelmon got reprinted.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of just Cherubi.
Also, I just want to say one thing: is that they've put this deck in a really insane position now. That like Dominimon, Angelmon, and if you don't have a way to change the color, it represents 5 different aces that all do 5 different things, and you literally have to guess what is going to happen to you.
It's not if he has it, it's what he has.
Which one?
Yeah. So it can convert into like both Serafi names, Cherubi, Ophani, what else? Convert into like...
Ophani's the most fraudulent, but it's still pretty good.
Shadow Serafi.
Yeah,
he said both.
So you said both Serafi? My bad. I think
both Serafi, Ophani.
There's a 5th one. I'm just trying to remember.
Also, it's a Valder deck. Sometimes you just go Alliance with Cherubi for 2 checks, swing with Barrier, DNA into Valder, that's game.
Like, you can burst mode as well. You can play fucking burst mode 8 if you wanted to.
The deck's kill clock got like significantly better because of Valder.
Yeah, I mean it's a chimera on the actual levels you have.
Yeah. But
it does a lot of good things, but it doesn't make anybody else's deck building different, which is a weird choice.
It loses like it has like predetermined like matchups. Like you flip both players like Tamas, and you go, oh, this is how the matchup's gonna get played out, and then you just basically have to play hoping that they don't have the Altior thing. Any deck with the Digivolve just folds the Angel deck. It's like memory battery for free. Just like, yep, cool. I'm just gonna cash in on my like 15 memory turn. Thank you. It's pretty grim.
Even like other counters to like on play good stuff decks like Medieval are like less effective against this deck because like you can just like kabam that thing. Like you go like, oh, I don't care that you're gonna remove the level 5 that I've got here set like a health battery. Like you just remove it on your terms. Like there are so many more effective synergies almost to every counter to this deck except play by effect than like you could think of, and like the deck still has comfortable ways to remove play by effect stuff. So
it's also
the only like really bad one is like Crimson Blaze. Like they obviously you can't interact with Crimson Blaze, which makes it like better than it would be otherwise. But man, Angels is like its counters are gone. It's really good.
I will say like it's like Sakuya matchup is like pretty bad. Like the one deck just DP minuses more than the other one, and
I mean, Angels already always had like a rough yellow matchup. Like even when it was like a potential like tier 1 pick, it was like that. You better hope you don't hit another yellow player because you will lose. Like you were winning a bunch of matchups and would lose to like Lusamon.
See, like people are putting in chat like, oh, just like play the Dominion and then you don't have to deal with it. It's like, yeah, slamming for 12 will get you raided into by like a bunch of stuff or like suspended and like interacted with. That's like, oh, if slamming Domini for 12 would like win you the game, the card would have a non-play, but it doesn't. The card's like value comes from when digivolving and, you know, expanding and ooh, my army of angels.
You did mention like one of the original things was color changing. So do we want to talk about the artist formerly known as Matt Ashida Turbo?
Still strong.
Yeah, it's not as
strong.
It's not as low as you think it should
still be. Good. It's still crazy.
Yeah, there's packages you play in it to fix a lot of the stuff. It doesn't loop nearly the same way because the mat's gone. Hallelujah. But like, if you aren't locked in, like the Impmon plays all your Koichis, so every time you turn one into a Digimon, your Impmons can play another Koichi. The Lugamon package is still fantastic because you can just pull the Tamers from trash and get value that way. I'm on a quirky thing that I'm maybe even going to play at events, but like it's like Underworld's Call. Like there's a lot of like really strange things you can interact with in this deck because it is the second most generic draw one trash one engine, but kind of like how Meggy takes good things from other styles of play and just adds it to purple good stuff. This is just hybrids plus purple good stuff. So how bad could that be?
Superior mode's a hell of a fucking card.
Oh my god, superior mode in this deck is bananas.
If they never hit the mat on the sweetest deck, would have been tier 0 with the
new for sure.
Because you just played the exact same build. And all you do is just like, yeah, I'll Dusk of Elga and I'll keep it on board and get a check in, and then you just fucking kill them.
Yeah,
one of the things
raid
that this
at
deck,
like 50k.
Yeah.
One of the things that the deck did get is one of the things that the deck has to do now is like you can conserve on deck space like you used to because of the mat. So like your deck is like less toolboxy, more homogenized because like you have to play 2 to 3 card like little packages to make up for the advantage loss. So it's like you have to play like the calls and the options that like get your stuff back. You don't just get to do it for free. So it's like speed wise, you're more likely to catch the deck off on an off turn. Just because like they don't like you're more relying on the dual color Koichi to get back like the dusks. Like if you have 2 dusks, then like you can like infinitely loop each other.
Or the piece de resistance, the card that I like every time I put it back in purple hybrid, I'm like, oh, this is the best card. You just can't find it regularly. Is Ancient's Guardian Deities. It spits the Tamers out for cheap and then recurs any piece. If it was purple and easier to find, it would be the best card in the deck.
Can you add it back off the Koichi Inherit?
You can add it back off the Koichi.
That's right. That was the dumbest thing about that card.
It was the best loop you could do. I just don't think there's like I don't want to downplay this. Like I think you could lose to a purple hybrid player at an event.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's gonna top. It's gonna. They will.
Yeah, I think a player will like it.
I'm just gonna read every card in this set and just figure out how Duskmon single-handedly interacts with every single one of these decks, and you will still have purple hybrid one tricks probably taking down events. It's just there'll be different ways of building it now. I think some of that's potentially being explored at the moment is the Rihi value package stuff where you play the Sunamon egg and you just play like the Luga base where you just loop the AGs for value.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple people talking about like the purple adventure cards, like the purple Garurumon, like Garurumon, as like a very powerful engine in the purple hybrid stuff as well, like Warp Gabumon to handle big boards with Melga Ace and like Reheat it. It's super good
deck
stuff.
as well.
Yeah, very good. I can't.
We want to do a couple of like duds, just like.
Guys, Mirage and Funny But Doggy.
Funny But Doggy, where it belongs.
We made it. We're in the before and after.
Royal Base, Funny But Doggy. I don't care. There's no amount of like.
It's here because they got. Can I be mean and say Hero is like Rogue, but it's not better than Rogue?
Sure.
Which one is supposed to be Hero?
Hero of the Skies. I didn't want to figure out. Like, other comments would be weird about it otherwise. I know. I think it's Rogue. I think it's better than Funny But Doggy, but I don't think it's that much better. It's just like I said this in the bonus content that you can check out if you're a channel member over here on youtube.com/KnTElixar. But I would almost never choose to play Hero over the parts of it that contain the tag. So like I prefer I prefer Atmon to hero. I prefer.
Wait, is that bonus content not come out yet? I'll fix that.
I don't think
Hunters.
so. I think I wicked prefer hunters to hero. There are hero packages in different archetypes, but
Yeah.
like
That's boring
if you
from
like
each
the
other.
idea of hero, please play hunters.
Yeah.
That's my.
We can talk about hunters, right?
Yeah,
we
I
can
think we
put
should talk about hunters.
Cool.
strong pick.
I'm willing to let you say it's strong pick. I would have said viable at worst.
No, I think it's strong pick. I think
it's strong.
the Tigeroo by itself fulfilling like just
A color.
like a 2 colors essentially by
Yeah.
itself for like the old.
Wait, does it
superior
work
mode
like that? I thought
Yeah,
it didn't work. Like
yeah,
that.
it's
colors
fine.
across your
It's
tamers.
for each tamer color you have, so it counts as 2 it counts as 2 colors.
Okay, then yeah, very good.
Yeah,
Well, I was
and
testing
then-
it yesterday as if it wasn't that.
No,
And
it
then-
is that. It's you still have to run the U, even though like he functionally
Yeah,
does
you'll-
everything. The U,
Yeah,
the U
yeah,
is
you still play
literally
it.
now just there as a color.
You
And
still play like clock.
Clockman is the nuts,
Clockman
man.
is-
If you hit a
Yeah.
Clockman early, you just go crazy.
The difference between like seeing like the Clockman, is it Clockman or Watchmaker?
Watchmaker.
The difference between like the turns where you see Watchmaker and you don't are like night and day, because like your damage mapping just like drastically changes. And like the deck has access to the Digivolve with Tuar, so that's like immediate like, oh cool, it's the best form of removal got better.
There's
one
also
cost.
there's a lot of tamers in the format, and superior mode's unique removal is like kind of more efficient again. Yes, there are hybrids, but like in a like except if you're playing against hunters or hero, most of the time the thing you tuck doesn't have an ESS, so it is a lost card.
It draws like 5
Um,
cards every turn.
It's just so much. It's kind of like I think if the package is too big to be Imperial, where like you could kind of just play any top end you wanted. I think this deck has to play a huge engine and then maybe like 1 or 2 tech cards. But like if they condense this deck further, there's a world where this is just like draw 5 Imperial, but in red and purple, and like that would be very annoying.
I will say the advantage of this deck gets is like it doesn't get to play Volder, but it gets to play Quartz. And while they don't do the same thing, the one time you need to stun the Tamers for like one turn. Quartz does that job like pretty well. And then like God forbid that card makes it back to you, you win the game. I think like Quartz should still be like heavily considered in like multiples in Hunters. Like I'm not comfortable playing this deck with less than 2 Quartz, because like there are so many matchups where it's like you don't quite kill, but if you Quartz, you get yourself a turn, which will then let you kill on the following turn. Because this deck, as long as it gets another turn, it's like unbelievable. The deck is all about another turn, another turn, another turn, another turn. It just grinds you and like recurs things, and unless it X out, it will just keep going.
Quartz is also funny because it stops the Zeniths in the Galacticmon. Galactic is bad for you just by virtue of your Tamers being vulnerable to Destromon, but Quartz stops the Zeniths on suspending. So even if they do the actual like, oh man, they caught me with Galactic Cannon. What's that called? Particle Cannon?
Ragnarok Cannon.
Ragnarok. Cannon. Sorry, I was having a brain fart. Even if they get you with Ragnarok Cannon, they can't unsuspend because their Zeniths are sideways. So Quartz is bananas. Kind of like low-key Quartz's format again.
Can we get fan art of like Tagaru with like a Rolly when he gets like graduation?
And grills.
Yeah.
I think as well the new superior mode out the gate was very underjudged as a card. I think people really read it as an underwhelming piece of support, but like it's just like a 20k fucking raid piercer. Like
There are
I'm not.
so many
It's
good rares in this
fucking
set.
massive.
It's like
Huge.
they had to make that card is effectively a super rare. The card only is a rare tagged card because like the Tamers are super rare.
Yeah.
But that card is like super rare power level of good. Like it's missing, like it would have either like another effect. If it was a super rare, it would be like 2k DP. That card would be like massive. Instead of 1k, it would be like 2k DP. It would have raid piercing and like sec attack +1 if it was a super rare.
Yeah, the card is crazy. Obviously, the old one is insano, like completely game warping, which is why people went, "Oh, it doesn't do the thing, so it must be bad." But yeah, I mean,
If
when
it can out an
digivolving-
ace with its when digivolving, it saves a lot of its weakness, and like out the body that will blast. Then it's like bananas.
I will say the other thing about the deck is like its Tamer acceleration is like insane. Like you don't have to rely on Gammamon. Like
yeah,
you
which
now
also
just
makes
have
Asta more viable, because one of the problems with Asta, if you were trying to like port turbo, was you'd be like, well, I can't evolve over the black pieces. But yeah, having red purple, so you now have another 4 that could just go straight into a 5. I think if you're focusing on quartz, you don't have that pain point anymore.
It's pretty good. I mean,
Hunters.
Yeah, that's Hunters. Yeah,
it's still pretty cheap too. Like that's the other thing. It's like
Yeah,
it
I
hasn't
don't
lost the
imagine-
thing it used to be good at.
I don't imagine the Tiger is big.
cheapest deck on this list. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident to say that.
Yeah.
Imperial.
I was gonna say before Imperial, should we do Appmon, because we spoke about
Sure.
it earlier in the podcast how like the Hunters players are probably being cannibalized by the Appmon players, so we should probably
Okay.
put Appmon on the list right after whilst we're fresh talking about Hunters, because this is maybe the difference maker between you getting 5 new cards or an entire new deck.
I think it's
like
strong.
row. Oh, strong.
I think it's a strong pick. Yeah, I feel pretty confident in saying it's a strong. There are 2 builds. You can accept that you want to high roll a little harder and play a real pure Appmon deck, but concede the fact that you're going to have worse consistency cards. Or you can pay the Unkers $5 and get Kurova's Tempo list, which solves a lot of the problems but takes some of the high roll away. And if you haven't tried that, it will change your opinion of this archetype.
Whoa, paying money for information? What are we, Yu-Gi-Oh? Come on now. Spreadsheets?
No, it's a Google Doc with those guys. Shouts Kurova, world champ, or would have been in my heart. Anyway, the archetype is really strong because Gammamon is super pushed. And if you haven't resolved Gammamon regularly, you won't really have a feel for that. So I think like the knowledge of how powerful Gammamon is within the context of like good decks of this format, like if you think about like a thing a deck does that's annoying in the last, I don't think this is hyperbolic. You guys can flame me if this is. I think if you think of a good effect in the last year, except blue stuff, because like bounce and source strip haven't really been a thing this deck does. Give it another wave. If you can think of a strong effect from a deck within the last year that isn't blue, this deck does it. It has Taunt, it has De-Digivolve, it still kind of has Freeze. It has Pop, it has Unsuspend, it has immunities. Like, Appmon is so build a buddy custom deck that like you don't super know what you're going to play against sat down, and the tools it offers are very frustrating to interact with. It has a couple gameplay problems. Messing with its stack. It relies on the tamer massively. The option is very important too, so you need to see those in typically multiples. And it has this weird hiccup where messing with its stack and like messing up the order that your cards are in really screws it. So like you kind of have to rebuild a like if this thing gets de-digivolved, obviously the links aren't sources, but like if there's some chump underneath, you kind of have to fix it in post. So Appmon kind of takes an off turn even if they're still on the board because they've lost the guy, like especially if you de-digivolve Gammamon, he loses link +1, right? So like you can really impact the way that they've set up their resources and like, oh, I'm gonna have 2 links to make 1 big tempo turn, and you go, okay, get rid of that thing. You're like, well, there goes 3 turns of time. So it's flawed, but when it does its thing, it's obnoxious.
Like it doesn't play, if it gets cleared, it doesn't play very well. Like it doesn't really have a great comeback. It's the deck that like expects you to be like winning board the entire time.
It's really hoping that the Charismon does enough to keep you like in a winning position. Yeah,
and also to impede your board with taunt. Like that's the other thing it has that's really efficient right now. So it's quirky, bro. Seen a couple people talk about like Susanomon and stuff as well, like Susano Ace over a Gammamon to just kind of steal a board. I'm not necessarily going to comment on like the teching this archetype out. I think you can kind of do what you got to do for your store, your regional you're going to attend, or your other event, whatever that may be. But dang, it's a great starting point for an archetype, and it's kind of unfair, which is typically all a deck needs to do to be good in Digimon is to start out unfair.
Jumbo, pick another deck.
Sakuya, Meta Defining.
Bro was like, I don't want to talk for that long.
Format.
Do we have to say, guys? Honestly, do we have to say anything?
No, it's my vote for the best deck.
The best efficient combo deck in the game. Okay, I don't think it's the best.
I think a Sakuyamon player that draws hot wins every game they play.
I mean, yeah, but that's a Sakuya.
But like that isn't true for Leviamon.
I think they have like opposite problems where like Levia's strength is that like it can play like reverse sweeps in like 2-1s, like get 2-1 wins, whereas like with Sakuya, I feel like because the deck has to play more games, that's actually worse for the deck. Whereas like Levy wants to play more games, so that's actually better for the deck.
Yeah,
Whether he's
Leviamon is playing on the knife edge already. So
the best of 3 deck they've ever printed. This is the best of 1 deck.
Best of 1. Yeah,
but it happens
exactly.
to be good best of 3 as well. So
I mean, a best of 3 is just 2 best of 1s if you OTK your opponent twice, some might say.
For Rune mode minus 10.
The other thing is like Sakuyamon, I still don't really think it's going to show up in the numbers you'd expect of what I think is BDIF, because people they don't own the cards. It's not like the fun or stereotype that like a lot of people like in Digimon. And
my name is Ringo Nonaka.
Yeah, right. Like
it lost its identity. It doesn't play plugins anymore. It plays like
it doesn't play plugins anymore. It plays good yellow options. So all of that together, I think, hurts this deck's representation, which is a shame because what it would take, this deck is not like Mirage, even though, haha, yes, it's yellow Mirage. The thing this is going to struggle with is like for it to take over a top cut, it needs to be super popular. It will not it won't be 5 guys, 5 dudes in top cut. It will be 5 guys took the deck. 1 dude was God mode that day and won the whole thing. I'm like, if 30% of the room is on Sakuya, then yes, the whole top cut is yellow Sakuyamon mirrors. But like, it's when it works, it's so good it beats its counters. And that isn't super frequent in Digimon right now. So like when you have it interact, it's like, it's so format defining. I've heard people talk about emergency program shutdown in 2025. There's nothing else that you could justify.
Okay, you've heard me.
No, I've seen Twitter Andy's, Jambo.
I will say one of the issues that the deck has is like it can sometimes get like ran down. Sometimes like a tempo deck that just is like unbelievably quick. Because like Sakuya the longer the game goes on, the better the Sakuya deck is because eventually it'll find its pieces. But if it has to find its pieces there and then on that one turn and it can't, then the deck feels like really, really bad. Like I think like Megidra just absolutely like dog walks Sakuya because it's just like, I'm never going to give you anything to interact with. I'm going to just murder you. And like your defensive lines is like either find the ruin mode or I'm killing you.
It does feel sometimes like that gif.
I think Red Hybrid.
I was going to say, it feels like, the gif of Gromit trying to put the train tracks down whilst he's on the track. Sometimes it feels like Sakuya players promote and they're just like that. I'm gonna hope I got it like that, and like they don't have it because it takes them a little too long to find like the unsearchables now that they're on so many, or like not as unsearchable, but like because they search yellow options, but like to find the pieces they need, it feels like they're just pushing.
Keep going.
They're free falling, and they're just like, we'll make a parachute on the way down.
You've never seen a guy go, oh, plug it.
Yeah, they draw the green plug-in and you want to die. Yeah,
and then it'll be like, oh man, I didn't.
Or go ahead, Marcia.
Oh, no, you do your thing. My point is not important.
I think Sakuyamon brought Red Hybrid back to relevance. I think Red Hybrid's unique skill set of checking through security quickly and at good tempo while also potentially ignoring option cards and stopping them getting their free value from their ridiculously option-heavy deck is the thing that makes Red Hybrid worth talking about again. This is like...
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, like BT21, like Takuya good stuff, not Emperor. Sorry, not Ancient Greymon, not Ancient Greymon.
I'm so tired of Ancient slop. Please, let's go back to playing good Emperor cards.
I think Red Hybrid is a strong pick.
I think that deck is very strong.
Yeah,
I
think
haven't
it's confused at the moment.
No, it isn't. I'll tell you why. Stop playing Ancient Garuru. Those cards, they're dookie. They're so garbage. Please move.
No. Like I've been talking to Saf about
Greymon.
I've been talking to Saf about like Emperor Greymon stuff. Tom, you're a Pokemon guy. You know how like the traditional prize checking format is like 2 cards, 2 cards, 2 cards lethal. Like I was talking to Saf about it with like the number of sec +1 inherits and like unironically the first 2 Takuyas, no notes. They figure that's it. Every new Takuya they make is like. It's icing
on top.
Yeah, Takuya Koji,
I'll say that
he's cute.
the duo tamer is like uniquely broken with new Takuya, but like that's what it is.
Yeah, and new Takuya is okay, but like we were talking about it, it's like, what if you just made the game Pokemon and you just 3-check 2-check lethal?
What if you play BT12?
Yeah, what if you just 3-check 2-check lethal and that was the game plan and you just ignored all the new fancy like sparkly bits and you just went, I do the same thing for 5 rounds at a local.
Jambo didn't look like he was like super in agreement with like no Ancient Greymon. Do you think that Ancient Greymon's
no, Ancient Greymon's dog. I was talking about Ancient Garuru. I think Ancient Garuru is still good, but
yeah, you did misspeak, and I wasn't sure where you were
Ancient Grey's dog. Ancient Grey's horrendous now. Ancient Grey's like it's lost all its niche.
I think it was overrated even before the ban, though. Like it was
I
a
will
better
say,
package
It
than
was
a
just to
deck.
draw with locals, right?
Yeah.
I will say the advantage of like Ancient Greymon is that like the option lets you evolve when a tamer gets played. So if you like preload like a Burning Greymon under a tamer, you can then like on the opponent's turn evolve into a Goonie, unless a Goonie is your turn and the line that I'm describing doesn't
No,
work.
you can do that because you can do it with Ancient Greer as well.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's
I
when
believe
they
you, but I
evolve
just got to read myself.
But like even with the new option, just being able to like,
Yeah,
I have
okay, there
I
we
have Takuya Koji in rotation. I have Spirit Evolution Takuya Koji and the new Takuya. I go new Takuya to Evo, punch, play a tamer, Spirit Evolution, make an Emperor, and then you just have a free Emperor on the board.
Yep, and all the Emperors got marginally better. Like the thing
Yeah,
with
I think the new
Greymon,
promo
Oh my
Emperor
god, the promo
is
Emperor
insane.
is insane.
the thing with
It's
the
so
Greymon,
strong.
the thing with the Emperor Greymons was like for a while you had two choices, and it was like, okay, here's the one that deletes and has sec attack +1, and here's like the 2 checker if you block, right? But like they weren't good enough because they were like it was a mid-range card. But now you got given like 2 more Emperors that like do functionally like different things. Like one of them is Source Strip. Like, yeah, sure, I'll take Source Strip actually. That's awesome. It Source Strips, it like suspends, so it's like cool.
Yeah.
I can like play for
Gain
board.
Sec +1, and
Gain
then
Sec +1.
unsuspend as well.
And the blocker.
Sick, amazing card, amazing card. And then the new one,
is just like pop a guy, big as fuck, unsuspend it on end step. So you just
unsuspend
get-
end step.
So it's essentially a 2-checker, but you can
Yeah,
make it have more than 2 checks because it's a fucking hybrid card.
and you also have like the Aldemon, right? Like you can basically go like I'll swing the Aldemon. The Aldemon is going to be like my beatdown, and then like I end
card
on
is good.
Emperor. Like ending turns on Emperor is, in my opinion, the best way to like rethink about like red hybrid, because like like a lot of the times you're going to win by like running your opponent down, not trying to like make your way into a 6. I think like
Yeah.
trying to climb into a 6 is very pointless. That's what Greymon did. You're never going to climb to the extent of Ancient Greymon, but you have that mid-range flexibility that deck did not have, and I think that's sick.
The delay is also.
Oh,
I
Lord.
don't want to. I want to be really careful how I say this because I don't think it's the best of the new delays, but I think it's the one that wins the game the fastest.
That card is
Um,
just like you don't have to play the
so
Flamemon anymore.
You don't have to play the Flamemon anymore. And then like the crazy part about like if people like I used to just joke about like fail warp to load up my Takuyas over and over again.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
if I have 500 Takuya and you check the option card, I got an Emperor Greymon on your turn and it cleared your board.
It's sick.
And like it's so insane. Like Armored Digivolution is like very good.
they're
Digimon I
all
designed is
good.
bananas.
They're open.
Yeah,
Can't turn
all
my
of them are
back.
at least like I like. Yeah.
There's no Crimson Saviors
dude,
in this set.
We're gonna talk about Can't Turn My Back. We're gonna talk about that card.
Digimon I designed.
Digimon I designed
Even
also
the-
deeply.
the Gammamon
Son of a
But the
bitch.
red hybrid one.
Sorry,
the red hybrid one,
Strongest
when it
Brothers.
first the red hybrid one is just like, oh man, the game's over. So it's
It also
very
lets
good.
you. It also lets you like do like little like silly little things, right? For example, like at a very
Did you guys
like
know this deck has Source Strip, and it can
Yeah.
Source Strip Galacticmon.
Also,
like, holy crap!
It does just let you make a Susanoo on your opponent's turn, which is hilarious. They actually gave that deck Blast Evolution though, which is
at a very like basic level, like any level 4 that like deals with things. So like if you look at the Burning Greymons, like that's like a guy that like pops things, right? Like the BT7 Burning Greymon, right? That card is like not particularly strong. What
He's
the
had
fuck
his
is it?
time.
Yeah, but like evolving into a 4 on the opponent's turn and popping a level 4K DP is like, okay, you popped a rookie or you popped like sometimes like a
champion.
floodgate or a level 4, right? It's like that's not horrible, but imagine like the other cards they actually get to go into. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, Red Hybrid. I actually I said before we're gonna maybe come back to the tier list and talk about it at future episodes of Misplay for Game. This is one I'm expecting to be maybe that we undersold. I think Red Hybrid can perform better than we're thinking about.
Shouts to there's like a guy called like Paki or something. He's like on like Team True Villains, I think. He's always like revolutionizing like Red Hybrid.
Okay,
with a
not
Q.
like the
Okay,
not like the
all
really
right.
rude thing to call a group of people though. He's fine.
Why
He
would
didn't
you?
mean it that way.
You guys are actually
Don't worry,
like
don't worry. Good.
dorks.
No, it's fine. It's
Have you
fine.
seen mine and Tom's skin color?
We're gonna get clipped.
Such dorks.
But yeah, I totally get it. There's also like I think it's fun that Digimon's 5 years old now, and like there's long enough like levels of like, oh, this one dude has like carried this archetype for like a year, and he's like the preeminent resource on like cool things you can do with deck building in it. So dubs, shout outs to the guy.
This is gonna be a very long tier list. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we can maybe zoom through some of those the duds easy. I hit you guys with an easy safe bet. Adventure is format defining.
Yeah.
It's down at the bottom.
We all know this. Come on. We all know this deck should be amazing out the gate.
If you haven't checked out the Huang Zero YouTube channel, please go do so. Huang and Zero did a really great hour-long video about like the beginnings of what you need to know about Adventure, and the reasons it's going to be format relevant. The delay is the picture I chose because I think the delay is the easiest surface level point of interaction that this deck has to do with basically everything in the game. But it's not the only crazy thing this king gets to do. So Adventure is very good, and the new tie is one of the best waves of support I've ever seen a deck get given. It's definitely secret rare material. So really good stuff. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to add to Adventure? Or should we just tell people to watch Hong and Zero's video?
I think that's a great way of looking at it. Their breakdown's really, really solid. But yeah, I think you picked the right card to represent it, as much as obviously Secret Tie is Secret
Everyone
Tie.
says it's tie, right?
Option's insane.
I just think the fact that it does all these crazy things and then has this option card, if you have the audacity to try and crack back, they go, no.
Just pass on it.
Yeah.
You can just pass on it.
Awful
It's
stuff.
so dumb.
Oh, another
Do you want to
quick
throw
thing
another
about.
slam dunk in?
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Before,
Marcel.
I think like I would say that I would still put Adventures like format defining, but I think I'd put it towards the bottom of format defining because I think it's like a true gatekeeper.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think it's like a lot of decks are going to be like, can you play past Courage United? Whereas like some decks can and some decks can't.
I'm confident that I think it's format defining because of how good Courage United is, like you said. But like it's there because of the deck building restriction. Like decks now need to be ready with no play by effect floodgates to be this, and that's like I don't necessarily think it's as strong as the other stuff here. I just think that's like, oh my god, it impacts the format. Do you want to do Roll Knights really quick because that's the other kind of sitter for format defining?
It's still Roll Knight. It just got support as well. So
the promo Galacticmon's bananas. If you haven't tried it yet, it changes a lot. There's like we'll see how the game develops. But the trend I keep worrying about in Royal Knights is moderately like players I respect their opinions on the game. Both seeing like the pattern goes as follows: they play Royal Knights for a bit, they go, "This is good, but it's getting counterplayed a little bit too hard right now because the other decks are very strong." And I still think it's bananas, but I will play it. Then they go, weird sub build of this archetype with like black tamers and black options for security control. I'll try that out. And then like 4 days later, it's like, Kari plus Revelation plus Pillowmon, and Lord Knight spit out Pillowmon. Like the deck is becoming like a hodgepodge of like Royal Knights is actually a package. It's not a deck. We were wrong. And you can play it with other control things. So sometimes you're going to sit down from a table and go, I can counter the core package of Royal Knights and get the tech wrong and lose the game. So like, oh, you won't know you're playing against Rev Kari until they go, oh, Rev Kari, clear your board. And like, you're like, bye-bye adventure chip damage. So there's a lot of like quirky stuff you can interact with.
But at the core, it's still like the deck still has like absurd like clear removal and like
even before that sprinkles on top, it's the best ice cream sundae ever.
Yeah, that's it.
Demon Lords isn't on this tier list because I didn't
put Virus Imperial in strong pick already.
I agree.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep.
I think we can
Virus Imperial is cool for being floodgatey.
I would say about maybe above.
I think it's
established.
It's better than Red Hybrid.
No, it's better.
I would say better than Hunters. Anything that is like,
coin flip.
Like the new decks, I would be inclined to put them towards like the lower end, and like anything that's established, I'm more likely to put it towards like the top.
No one give no one give Jake Holt that tech. No one telling us. No one show him a list, please. Less people like this, the bear. Sorry, that sounds horrendous.
Gatekeepers.
That sounds horrendous. Actually, I apologize. But
you have your top. It literally isn't your problem anymore.
I think we covered most of like the new stuff. So the things that are left over, we can kind of just gauge them based off.
There's a couple new guys still that I think are worth.
Okay, we can do like the new stuff because
I do want to save Gammamon. That's why we haven't said it yet.
No, we can talk about Gammamon.
Okay, where do you want to put Gammamon? Because you're the person I respect on this.
So the thing with Gamma is like any deck that gets to play on the axis that it wants you to is like the deck feels really, really good. But then there are certain matchups where like the thing that you want to do doesn't quite work. Like any deck that like wants to promote before you is great, but the problem is like your damage clock is not that high. You're like a deck that plays for like attrition over the course of like a few turns, but like never like, oh, I die next turn if I don't do X. Like the deck doesn't invoke an insane amount of
honest
pressure.
mid-range deck.
I wouldn't say honest, but it is like the most extreme
I'm joking.
like mid-range.
It's not honest.
Yeah.
It's actually out of security. The delay is bananas, but it is honest. Like we said before, like all the red decks are gonna have different play styles. This is like the middle red deck.
This is the one that gains the most amount of advantage. Like you're typically going to like 7 memory, like just casually.
Oh,
and, like,
the hero! And
like you're drawing like 4 or 5 cards before you even like commit to things. I would say that deck.
Sorry, can I interrupt you really quick? Hey, person in chat, it doesn't say tier 1. What does it say? We're good now.
Poor guy. Anyway, I would say the deck is like viable if you are willing to put in the work. But there's a couple of things that like doesn't feel too good into it. Like if I was to take this deck into an established like tier 1 metagame, I think I would put it in like, yeah, this is a viable pick. Like I'm comfortable playing into Lavaya. I have like protection and like floating and a bunch of shit. I can play my tamers when I want to and hide them. I'm probably comfortable playing into Sakuya because like I can promote at level 4 without getting like ruin moded. And like, yeah, I don't get on plays, but like I have straight up just like removal. Like Sakuya has protection from like bound spot deck, but I can just delete things. So I don't feel like pretty bad about that. And I have taunts as well. Royal Knights, I would say, is like probably the most iffy like matchup.
We tested a little bit of right.
You can get pretty big and you have like deletion. But that's the thing with the deck is like you're never killing people like as early as you want them to without finding like Omni X to like, oh, okay, I can go like Arcturus to burn 1, 2 checks off of a Sirius, and then like Omni X for game. That's like your ideal like kill range, but getting to that is like not that consistent. And then like, yeah. But anything that's like a bit more awkward, like things that don't really play on board, like hybrids, it's like, like I don't really want to play against these guys. Like Virus Imperial, things that like burst you extremely quickly. It's kind of like, maybe.
Taunt is also kind of weird for Gammamon. It wants to sequence its actions in a very specific way.
Yeah.
And like taunt can be bad, and there's a lot of good taunt right now. Like Atmon, Examon,
it does have access to. It does have access to Digivolve, and it has access to its own taunt plays, and it has protection. And it can like evolve on the opponent's turn without it having to rely on counter timing, which are pretty huge for the deck. I think like those are like the things that I got the most. I would say the deck is viable if you're willing to like learn the deck, but it's probably good at locals, probably not amazing at a tournament. But the deck feels great to play. So it's super fun deck.
It's super like red purple is like it stays this one color combo that just can't interact with things that don't get deleted. And like Gammamon has not, like even though Gammamon used to be a rainbow deck, it just hasn't got that anymore.
No,
like I guess you can run Zenmitsumon or like Bombermon and stuff and like get weird new things, but like God, it's so binary. You just lose these things, bro.
Yeah. Moving on.
Your friend shows up. Yes,
Wingardium's doggy. Yeah. Wingardium's is doggy.
This deck is bad.
The puppet, I think.
Is that? Oh yeah, he is. I forgot he was attached to that.
This is a bedge deck.
It's like doesn't have its pieces. It's missing.
It's literally
missing everything. It's literally missing everything.
Cernumon isn't real yet. Go watch the Boko where we predicted Cernumon.
Justimon is like funny but doggy.
Yeah.
No, it's better than funny. Look at the other things in funny but doggy. Sorry, we're not gonna fight this. We're gonna be here for hours. I'm happy to put it in funny but doggy. I just think it's better than truly terrible.
Sure, you can make it work, but it doesn't feel great. What else? D Brigade, I think is.
Ooh, D Brigade's low key kind of slept on.
Bro,
I would like D Brigade inviable, please.
Inviable.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make this argument about strong.
It just got a level 7. It just got a level 6 that can play out. I don't.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight about like strong pick stuff, but if you haven't seen somebody go Brigadramon, spit out Darkdramon Ace, and you lose the game on the spot, you will soon, and it will haunt you. It's black, undeletable, unremovable, good stuff. So like it has a lot of valuable, like half the new cards in this set are red, and so not being able to get popped is amazing. it folds a lot of like Adventure has Source Trip, which hurts this, but like outside of Source Trip, it's very, very good. It's the best Digivolving deck in the format. I'm pretty happy to say that. Like DC Bomb just kicks. You can't lose your Galactic matchup. It's not possible. So
You
yeah.
sure?
If they, yeah, dude, if they go, okay, start of my main, pop your Commandramon, it floats into another Commandramon, and then you go, okay, Ragnarok cannon me, dude. I don't care.
Yeah, you just make
Your board's a
board.
tuber,
You just make a board so big that they just can't.
I guess the other advantage is you hide your tamers. Like you just put you mind link the tamers, and then you go, okay, cool, try to destroy me. You can't. Anyway, end of your turn, pop out the tamers.
Yeah, those guys are bulletproof. Like they are in a
Well, Galen's
bulletproof
strong.
armored car.
You got
Okay,
a
sure.
comment in the chat from Rajan saying, hello, English-speaking friends. I have to say, surprised to not see Bloomlord at Talkpick. It has done good, strong things last year. If you weren't here for it when we said it earlier, we
Aye.
believe in the things that the deck does, but I don't think there are enough good Bloom tamers or Bloom
We
players.
literally spoke about it for like half an hour.
Which
Yeah.
statistic you've seen? It is the guy we have seen play board games at a games expo. I don't know.
Anyway,
Yeah, the
we
one
spoke
dude
about
who keeps
Bloomlord.
stopping.
That person can go back and rewatch.
Can we
Like,
put Gowan
Yeah.
in
Before-
strong?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Galacticmon
yeah.
is format defining.
Oh no, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Galacticmon's format defining.
I'm going.
I don't know
It's
if you're
not as
trolling
bad.
here.
No. I'm not trolling. I believe
He's not- no.
Galacticmon's antibody is format defining.
He's not trolling. It is.
Okay.
I play Heat, and this deck is Heat. It still does all the things you want it to do, but like now, I used to joke that it could kind of cosplay protected big bozos, but like if you like, it's stupid, but like the Megidramons aren't super excited to play into this unless they're like fully just dumping memory everywhere, and you've got Growl X as well, so they're not really taking you off the board that cleanly. Your other advantage is protected into Crimson mode. Bananas wins you the game on the spot against that deck because their trash is full. It's so easy for you. Your Royal Knights matchup can be made to be very playable by playing a lot more like on the board rebuild stuff. Galacticmon Secret Rare, like bro, Galacticmon beats Omnimon for a reason.
Jumbo, do you want to be Yuji or do you want to be Toto? I want to JJK someone in the chat so bad right now. Pick one.
I always Jambo's kind of the Yuji.
This is the thing that
I'm just
annoys me
younger,
about
so-
people that are just like, oh, you put that deck that I think is better than the other deck in the place that I don't agree with. That's fucking crazy because it's our tier list.
And it's almost like Purple Hybrids. It's still putting up results.
Can we rank Tyrant for the love of the game?
Oh, true. Marcio. How many people
Where's
are running
Tyrant?
options?
So I will say that Tyrant.
again.
No. First of all, people are like, oh, what did you think of? Why did you? It's like I never said I got baited. Like people.
But you were right. You were literally right.
Shibo. Anyway, I would say it's like strong, but like bottom of strong. I don't think it's like. It has its niche. Why am I getting full cap? I want to see the tier list. I want to
You're the
compare.
bug guy.
You're the
You've
bug
done
guy.
it. You're the bug guy.
So like your matchups into like things in the format are like not like super horrible. Like you are a sturdy deck. You have like good interaction points. What I will say, the biggest buff for the deck is the Adventure Kabu, like the Adventure Mega Kabu, because like you now have like Alliance as an ESS, which like one of the like worst things the deck had to deal with was like Gallant because you just couldn't get big enough. Now you can because you just have an Alliance, so immediately your viability just goes through the roof. Also, your kill clock is like a lot better because you can like have a level 4 out, evolving to the Kabu and suspend, and then you get like another check with Alliance. It's like it's pretty sick.
Bro, if
your
you
damage is like
Alliance
a lot
plus
better.
Grand- you Alliance plus Grand Quagamon, I'm crashing out.
It's
Yeah, that's
good.
not
Like
once per turn, is it?
No.
Is that once per
no,
turn? No, it's not, right? Hold on a second.
I don't think so.
Keep talking. I'm Googling this.
so like one of the main downsides of like Kabu is like it doesn't like to play against other control decks. Like it doesn't particularly enjoy going up against like Galacti.
It is once per turn, by the way.
It doesn't want to play against like things that are like difficult to remove. But anything that it's like really good at killing people's tempo. Like something that goes like, oh, I'll promote first, Tyrant clears you, then you get to wail on their security, then the opponent like sets up, and then when they have to play into you, it's like some decks just do not have the ability to play into Tyrant. It's very good at killing tempo and like not letting go of board. But you don't always get to play against those decks, and sometimes you have to play against like Royal Knights. One of the main issues is like consistently getting your Tyrant to like 17 KDP, which is like not impossible, but also like not like always consistent. You have to like tailor the deck to like a very specific like metagame.
Is there a world where you
yeah.
run the white options to try and hit that?
That is actually a very good point. I did not consider that. What the fuck? Wait, you're kind of cooking?
Fellas.
Wait, yeah, and it plays your
Wait.
Izzies.
Wait, chat? Maybe I'd even play Jedi. Is Jedi's all turns?
Jedi is your turn.
Your turn. but
You
it's
get
me.
3k, but it's your turn.
Maybe I'd play Island, because that is
Island
actually...
to spit out Izzy to get redirects to protect the next island is crazy.
Wait, hold up. Maybe I know what I'm taking to locals on Wednesday.
We're cooking.
WWW.
We're cooking.
Fellas.
I wouldn't put it format
Good luck with your
defining.
game plan, armor players. Here's the big bug.
I wouldn't put it like all the way up there, but I think it's like pretty strong. I wouldn't put it all the way up there. Okay, I would probably put it at the bottom of strong.
Okay. Bro's not trying to get clipped again, but
No clips from me. Anyway, that's it for bugs.
So we got some people saying Pulsemon in the chat. Pulsemon is
No.
not here because the contents of this page
Playable
are
garbage.
things that topped in the last format plus new cards.
here's your pulse.
Also, Pulsemon is missing too much help.
Funny but not.
Oh, we can talk about Fenrir. I put the no bullshit. I put this card as the image because it's the highest resolution image of the archetype.
Yeah, what is shit? Why would you play this anymore?
I'm not saying it's the ace. Like this isn't Seeker's good stuff, but like it's kind of rogue uphill.
fine.
It's not as bad. It's
This
not
is
nearly
like-
as bad as the shit in here with it right now.
No.
This
Yeah,
is
but,
single-handedly the most effective ban they have ever done.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
I just don't. But it's not royal base bad.
Sure.
That's crazy.
No. Yeah. But for the sake of entertainment, it's like, the dog deck goes in the dog tier.
Andrew,
in the
Royal
dog tier.
Base is better than Wind Guardian, but that's because Wind Guardian isn't 50 cards. I
Yeah.
want that
Yeah.
to be the stance I take here.
Wind Guardians is
You
not the
can't
worst deck in the
legally
game.
play Wind Guardians correctly yet.
Anyway,
Shiny
Imperial.
Fireball.
Wait, Imperial. That's like the last old guard deck, I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and Nightclaw or
It's still strong.
Galaxy.
It's still,
Yeah,
it's still a good pick. Like you're an
I think
Imperial one trick.
I think Imperial could be format defining.
I think Imperial is format defining.
If
Yeah.
Pyogemon is still that dude, it still takes the boards out back and claps them out.
I feel like
I will say,
above
First mode, lol.
just like based on our like results thing of like it has previous format results. I think still kind of
Yeah,
carry
yeah.
over.
it's also like there are very good players on the deck. Like good players don't let go of Imperial because like your game plan's like foolproof. Like it's a deck that doesn't rely on the opponent to do anything because it's like, oh, you're not interacting. 2 checks, Dragon Mode,
Yeah.
2 checks. Like okay, bro, you're at one.
I think it's the best 2-color deck ever. I think it is green,
Yeah.
board beating for like punishing you, and
Yeah.
blue, I'm solo OTKing you.
It's
can
funny
like
as
the
well.
two- It stole the 2 parts of their colors that you want to steal.
Yeah, of course.
It's really funny as well because it very similar to Levia. If the Pyogemon checks a tamer and they go, oh sick, I can now end on dragon mode, lock that tamer that popped out of security, and then what's an extra check? It does feel like sometimes they high roll
Or-
you and then you low roll your security and die for it.
Or they could just go Hexablood, and then you go, oh cool, go kick rocks, bro. Nice hybrid deck. You just can never swing.
Yeah, my 7
Hexablow.
source fucking Hexablow that you can't interact with. Or else
Yeah,
I'll make
with
a
partition.
second one. I honestly think scramble into hex, like passing to 1 with a partition, might actually be the best end board in the game.
Yeah, they just made it less common, but like I agree with that.
The deck is unbelievable. It has like great aces, great toolboxing. The deck is just good. Like
It's
I can.
so
They took draw
annoying when
5
the
away and
stupid-
still kept the memory guys.
It is so annoying when the stupid decks goes EX or the promo. Is it a promo or is it what? Oh, BT9. I'm thinking of BT9. No, I'm not. The dragon mode that spits out the partition pieces. What number is that card from?
That's literally the guy that I was talking about, like the red, the red
Yeah,
hybrid.
yeah.
guy.
Dude, it's so cringe when this deck goes
Change
hot
your name,
that
bro.
dragon mode.
Bro, you have to change your name, by the way.
No, it's the same
Wait.
name. Anyway,
It means
Uh,
something. It means
sorry,
something
Tom,
else.
go-
It's
What were you saying
cringe when
about-
this deck spits out its partition pieces, makes another Pyldramon next to it, and then ends the turn turning into Floodgate Dragon mode. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
the fact that it just does all that because the searchers find the BT21 is just like, sometimes it kicks you in the nuts, and there's not a lot of interaction points for it. And, like, that's where it all wraps up. So, like, that was my rant. Thank you for listening. Red Hybrid Legend from Europe, from Twitch TV.
He's right
Thanks
though.
for the shout-out.
He's the one guy.
Yeah, hell
he's the
yeah,
one
hell
guy
yeah.
that'll go, this guy knows what the fuck he's talking about. I think
Yeah.
what did it for
Saf.
me was
Yeah,
huh?
but Saf's a Roll Knights guy
Saf's a
right now. He doesn't
bozo.
want to play Red
Yeah,
Hybrid.
Saf hasn't played Red Hybrid in fucking years. This guy was like, oh, it's
No,
nice.
great.
but-
Bro, he single-handedly has the most majors wins on that deck.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he
yeah,
also has
we're talking
losses
about-
to
He's the only
Marcio.
person in Europe to have 2 majors under his belt with that deck.
We're
It's
talking
true.
about, oh, yeah, Pele
But
is
Jambo,
great, but I want to
Jambo.
watch Neymar.
Gemma,
Like-
the problem with hoping Saf will come back and carry Red Hybrid is that Saf is like married and has a full max rarity Royal Knights deck to play.
Yeah,
He's
no, he's not.
gonna choose to waste some time.
I want to watch the guy that's like, oh, do you know how I'm going to solve the Gora matchup? Triple color Emperor Greymon. That shit blew my mind. I was like, oh, fuck, dude, he found the one need for the bad card. That's crazy. Straight up cook. He just cooked. It was sick. Anyway,
Shout out.
What
to
else is
Saf
left?
One. Oh, wait. Double Tap GG website is out. You can buy a playmat.
Wait,
it?
that ass is it actually?
I think so, right? The site's up.
All right, we got
anyway,
Am I crazy?
No, we do actually.
Tier
have to
list.
edit this.
We'll fact check that in a
we'll
second.
never finish this. We'll never finish
All right,
this.
yeah, you keep doing that.
Oh
I'll
my
go.
god, it is up. Oh no, it's not the one. there's a different domain.
Yeah, and it's a fighting
Yeah.
game one. Damn it.
I
Pog.
I don't know, man.
What are you talking about, Chad?
What the fuck?
Anyway, X is like
where?
a new deck.
Wrong site, bro. On
Exa.
site.
That's like the other
I
like,
watch a Misplay for game
new
tier
deck.
list. I gotta Google certain things.
Examon,
Examon.
yeah, he does have new
Strong
cards.
pick, strong pick, strong pick.
Ah,
strong pick,
really?
Strong pick,
Yeah.
strong pick, strong pick.
I
strong
think it's
pick,
like
strong pick.
Rogue.
No, that's downplaying. He liked the deck. He downplaying it. a
No,
little bit.
fuck
He's
off.
He's
right
downplaying
now.
it a little bit.
I'm not
Versus
downplaying it.
He's
Uh-oh,
buying out the
not-
SPs right
It's
now.
the second. It's the second best green
No,
deck in the game.
It's not this strong. No, it can't.
No,
Pretty
it's
sure.
probably
no-
the third. It's probably the third best green deck in the game. I'm about to rank
I
Zafagamon.
can, no. Okay, this is Tyrant. You guys are baiting me again. This is literally Tyrant.
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
There's no way this deck. The deck is like
Green's
Cool,
a bad call
Interesting
for this.
game plan, nerd.
Green's a bad
Start
call,
of
you
your
fucking
turn, taunt.
the new cards are good, but like they're not like this good. I'm sorry, but the deck is not on the same like
Okay, well,
Angels
that-
and
Would that make you happier?
no, not even that. I think
Oh,
like
Don't
Actually,
let him
no,
put it in rogue,
no, this-
Andrew. He's being a content terrorist.
I'm fine with the
Ready
Exa there.
disinformation.
Excellent.
All right, we did it. Examon's there. Cobb.
Nobody's
has
going
to
to
come
play
if you're watching.
Exa, and like okay, well that's a bad argument. We literally talked about how that was a bad argument. It's fine. Like okay, I will say if Examon stays on the field, if the opponent like gets their turn back with Exa on board, you die because Exa X is just like CEO, fucking Patrick Bateman, like you know, like Rizzler, like you're dead.
What do you mean? Sorry, Patrick Bateman and the Rizzler have nothing in common. That's insane.
Skibbity toilet, burn security, kill tamer, die. Like that's what XX does.
Next time you taunt somebody with Slayerdramon, will you say Skibbitymon on play taunt?
I'll just do this.
That you know
Or
what?
sort of
If you
main
made
armor.
it this far into the video and you want to know what you need to add to the end of your comment that you're gonna leave at the end of the comment, could you please have the microphone emoji, Skibbity toilet Rizzler, and then whatever it was that you were trying to write.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what we should post.
But no, I think the deck is fine. Okay, maybe I'm playing it and it's like super stressful, but if you guys think the Exelon is like the absolute sauce, like
Bro, it just like it hardwalls a lot of the stuff we rated.
Do we have to read Jacob X?
That card is really
Yeah,
good.
Draco X is also that good.
shut the fuck up, Jumbo.
Do we want to get a couple?
Birds.
Yeah, birds.
Birds. I think Birds is a strong pick.
Viable. You have to be good at the deck to make it work.
It's like Bloom, right? Is it like Red Bloomlord? I feel like Birds is Red Bloomlord.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
red
We can say
fish.
Birds is the Red Bloomlord player.
What, were you saying that it was a strong pick, Tom?
Yeah, I was.
You are a believer in this.
So
stuff.
no. So here's what's up. The format accidentally looped back around to, weirdly, a bunch of blockers Garudamon can pop.
Yeah, you're kind of cooking.
And it's pretty consistently like accessible to use its engine, and it has a better lethal clock than Megidramon, which matters a lot. The problem with Ace being so core to your game plan is that you like need to use it, and then like Megi can clap back and gain overflow. But if you use Protoform, you can use it to then trigger all the stuff, do a bunch of damage to your opponent, and then if it gets cleared, Protoform goes to security to insulate some of your loss, which is really strong. So I'm a big fan of Birds. I think it's like
if you want to put it up
powerful.
there, I will say
I think it and Red Hybrid serve different functions for both being aggressive red decks. And like depending on how you view the metagame you're going to play against, one is the correct answer and the other is an alternative.
There's also the value of like the new adventure stuff.
I will say that like the thing with Birds that will like forever traumatize me is like getting held hostage by Imperial. If Imperial is good, it's like my reasoning to wanting to play Birds like goes down the fucking drain because I'm just like I want to kick rocks. I want to like
I think
I want to stuff my mouth with calcium and like take a big fucking bite. Okay,
I think Galactic gets. I think Galactic hurts Imperial enough that it will see fewer players.
Hopefully, inshallah, brother.
Yeah. and even though Galactic hurts you, it's not it doesn't like how fast you are.
Oh, I can just hide the Soras. I can always just hide them.
That's true
keep
too.
them in hand, and like I'll delete myself. Ooh, crazy. Yeah.
There are a lot of things you can interact with in this archetype. I respect Birds, and I think Birds as like a deck is also super underexplored right now. There are
Garuda. Obviously, Garuda.
Has anyone else thought about the fact that they dropped a red vaccine rush that clears the board and swings for lethal? Kind of good in Birds.
What card is this? Like
the new Wargreymon.
Oh, the new Garuda. Oh, shit.
Yeah, man, it's been testing well.
Oh, you're kind of cooking actually. What the?
Yeah. So we're gonna move on. Birds is great.
Yeah.
Can we put Marcus in viable?
Yep.
Top of viable.
I agree with that.
Top of viable.
Sure. I like making a Waking of the Sun in Ruin mode, but there are lots of things you can do with this deck.
Yeah.
Some of that is just the BT12 game plan again, but with more pieces that make it happen from an empty board.
Crossart in strong.
I would agree.
Crossart's format defining.
Oh
no,
okay.
you lose to Volder.
I know you lose to
Volder,
but Volder is a tech card for the decks in format defining. That's the reason it's format defining. The thing Crossart does is it has lethal. No. Crossart has.
I couldn't hunt Bagra be like this.
Crossart's real. Crossart's real. Yeah. Crossart does. Oh, dude, it's got so much good stuff. There's so many builds to Crossart. Like, I saw like
just, what the fuck?
New Taiki's bananas, dude. If you haven't messed with like. I've seen a couple people. I don't think this is the way to do it, but the tools are so multifaceted that this anecdote is why I think we can justify like good deck builders pushing this further. Do you guys remember the like funny scramble? If you haven't seen the KnTElixar, how good was Shoutmon actually?
Oh yeah, that shit was.
But the scramble Shoutmon stuff, where you like play the Shoutmon, evolve, do the thing. You can now use scramble to play BT21 Shoutmon that turns into the what's it called? Omni Shout, and then swing with the Blitz Taiki. And then start a main, unsuspend it. So it's just like free damage.
You can't do that.
Time.
Yeah, you can.
You can't. They've changed how the unsuspend trigger works. It's all in one phase. It's all in one phase now. Yeah, we literally had this conversation in top 16 at Glasgow.
Oh, then I still think the deck's format defining, but that line is a waste. That's a shame.
You can play Pastel Mecha.
Because they've changed how start of turn. They've literally nerfed start of turn because of scrambles, so there's no different phases in the start of turn now. It's all just one big phase.
The start of turn is your active phase now as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
then that does make
trigger anything that goes start of turn, then you unsuspend, right?
Well, yeah. Basically, it's weird. So like start. So
that's a big hit to Virus Imperial.
So start of turn now is like it's one big phase, but you just take different game actions in the order in that phase. It's fucking bizarre.
So you can do like memory slinging where you like evolve.
You can memory swing. You just can't untap. So once you've tapped in the start of turn, that's it.
That is
It's
so.
kinda
that
like-
really hurts Virus Imperial.
It's kind of
So
like
you can-
upkeep in Magic.
So
now.
you can't go like Virus Imperial scramble, and then you go like swing, and then tap your tamers if you have any tamers that tap, and then you can't go like in the unsuspend phase. I'll unsuspend my attacking guy.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can't.
sorry. Okay, in
Well,
my, I don't
well,
think you were
what's-
doing that anyway.
Which was an end of
Birds.
turn.
It happens in
Wait,
birds, for example.
Brits
Akiho.
Brits only resolved an end of turn anyway, so you could never do that. You could make a fighter mode, or like you could make 2 5s, but you
No,
just
no,
couldn't.
No,
No,
you
but
can-
the
so
fives
can you
attack.
still sorry?
The
Can you
fives,
still
they are
make
not
the
blitzing.
5 at start of turn and then
You can
unsuspend?
still make you can still make. You just can't unsuspend. Once you
Okay, so-
if you suspend your shit and start a turn, you can't.
It doesn't
Okay, yeah,
suspend.
then
Okay,
that's
cool.
yeah. Anyway,
All right, that
but-
does hurt my opinion on the Shotwan stuff a tiny bit, but I still maintain that I
Deck
think
is
this
still
deck is
great.
format defining. It
It-
has
It just
lethal
makes
coming out
three
of its
options at
ears.
start of turn, so
Yeah, that's true too. Dude, this archetype has like the what's it called? Like X7S is a unique counter to Galacticmon to get through its protection is very funny. EX6 having like supreme board connection is bananas. Having a good Royal Knights interaction is very strong because like what are they gonna do? Fucking stop you reducing play costs? Like you can get in there, really hurt them up.
we got a few
Yeah,
decks
we
to
gotta
go.
face this. I think Crossart's
Yeah.
really good.
GX, I think that deck is like poo poo.
yeah,
It's kind of rogue.
sure.
I wouldn't say funny, but dog, I'd say rogue.
Yeah,
It's
sure. I kind of want to for Zeph, so we've got all of the green stuff completed.
it's a strong
Okay.
pick. It's a
Yeah, I
strong-
think it's. A
There's no
strong pick.
leopard here.
Oh yeah, there,
Yeah, there is.
No, there is.
There is.
I skipped.
Oh, never mind.
I think Zeph
I
is
think
better.
I think Zeph is
Zeph's
comparably
fine.
about as good as Angels.
Yeah, my only issue is like this deck on paper is like, wow, it's so fun, you get to do all these things. And then like playing into it's only good when people play into you. I say this like every single time. I'm not comfortable playing against Levia. I'm not comfortable playing into Sakuya. I'm
Your
not
Royal Knights
comfortable.
matchup's pretty good though, right?
Yes, your Royal Knights matchup is like amazing. I'm not comfortable playing into Gallant, and I would be not comfortable playing into Angels, but like everything else, I'm like pretty chilling.
Zeph
but you-
has tops. I'm gonna
It
say
has
this.
tops. It
Zeph
has tops.
has
I-
premier
yes.
tops.
I agree. I'm not taking that away from the deck. I will just never value it beyond like my like preconceived like beliefs of the deck. Like I will not dismiss that the deck is good and has tops, but I'll never rate it anything above like
Sometimes
1.5
reactive
or, like-
green is good enough, right? Like
yeah.
that's what happens when Zeph tops. Is it played a room full of people that just couldn't go? Oh my god, the clapback will kill me.
It depends on the day and your matchups. Like if you play 2 Sakuyas back to back, your run's over. Like straight up, like it's a matchup roulette deck in my opinion.
I actually expect this deck to do pretty well proportionally for store regionals. That's kind of my like 2 cents.
Yeah, small amount of games.
Yeah.
Like
People will bring it
semi-diverse
to rooms like if you're gonna play at your store regional, you know what to expect and it will do
The-
better.
the best thing that can happen to this deck is you play against like 5 unique decks. Because then it's like, okay, well, I cannot play against like the same bad like genre like bad matchup. Like I can't play against 2 decks that are in my like
Must dodge.
like talent. Yeah, must dodge like fucking like side of the matchup spread. But yeah, I'm fine with it leaving in strong.
Um,
And where
like,
is leopard? Like they still green good stuff.
Just
Leopard
Green
has so
Ranger.
many variations now that I actually think
Viable?
I think it's viable, but like when
Below-
Leopard will squeak past viable, it'll be because it's using an engine really well. I think Adventure
Yes.
Leopard is untested. I think like Leopard Plants is still very like Green Ranger is still very good.
Below
Um,
Bloom, I feel like
Oh, I think it's better than Bloom. Is that weird? I think this deck has like more things I value than
it like the thing with Leopard is
Bloom has Puppetmon now, which is huge, but like Leopard has like
Medieval-
DP focused removal is really strong because it lets you pick and
Yes.
choose things.
my thing with Leopard is like it doesn't have the proactivity of Bloom because like you're winning through like making a board so big that like you win. Like Jambo could like confirm that like you're never winning because of like a combo that you do. You're winning because like something like boils over. It's like, oh, I cleared them for like 2 turns and they just didn't get to play, and now I get to go like swing. You can't take risks with Leopard. I will say that like the deck has access to like combos now with like the adventure stuff between like Keyword Alliance and like Unsuspends. You can definitely push a lot more damage, but you're still like really frail. And if I'm playing a frail go wide deck, I'm more comfortable on Bloom, but like Adventure Leopard could cook. I don't know.
Can I throw Alphamon a bone really quick?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think Alphamon is kind of the poster child for viable right now. I think it's maybe the most representative of this kind of power level in Digimon at the moment. The format's kind of gotten to be more full of two things. Decks that don't like interacting with Taunt. Taunt has just linearly improved over time. And also, Alphamon can turn skip people. And if you don't know how to interact with that point, it wins games immediately. And the format is becoming worse for turn skip. So I'm keen to see where this will go. It's also like, yo, you got to read the Alphamon BT20 Inherit more, people, because it will win games. I don't have a ton more that I think we should trying to speed things along. But I think
Left Fang Nightclaw.
Oh, I want food.
I think it's a strong pick.
Left Fang Nightclaw. I would put it as format defining. The deck is like unbelievable.
No, it's like so insane.
The deck is so insane.
Yeah,
Down players will.
Sure. I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it from defining.
Shut the fuck up, bro. You can make any good card ever printed.
We were all so gassed about Invisimon, and Invisimon's just kind of less good this time. Like the Digimon was good, but like I don't feel like I need it in the same way anymore. I'm like, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say if Floodgates, I think like Left Fang Nightclaw is like the tier 1.5 deck. Sorry, the tier 1 deck that wants to play against the tier 1 decks. Like it's so unbelievably crazy what the deck can do.
Yeah, when it works, it's just bananas.
I would say like Levia is like by far your worst matchup, but like sure, everything else I feel like you're just kind of chilling.
I think there is some merit as well to the fact that you did lose the best Swiss Army knife in your deck. Like, you know,
which one?
Yeah, Mirage going really hurts. Mirage going really hurts.
You only played like 1 or 2 anyway.
Yeah, but they found
the world's winning
time.
list played 1 or 2. In this format, I'd play 4.
If you're playing a store regional where you just have to gimmick 5 people, or even like a 1-day regional where you just have to gimmick 1 people, run hot on the day, you run as many Mirages as possible because Mirage wins you the game. And now you actually have to make a game plan that might draw you into Mirage. Like if you bot decked one off a Lekis or something, you go, that's okay, I can still find one of my other 2 or 3. If you bot deck the Mirage off that Lekis, never coming back.
Yeah. Maybe not so bad.
All right. I've been staring at it like the Green Goblin. Blue Gallant.
It's not even just Blue Galacticmon. It's like Seadramon good stuff. This engine is just super efficient, and you can go into Blue Galacticmon. You can go into Giga and do a bunch of good stuff. There are like other blue generic top end pieces that are very strong here. This is just like Blue's best generic shell.
I would put it next to the Cerberus. It's like if you're playing these cards, it's probably fine.
But the funniest best at 1 deck though. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's dude. Blue Galacticmon cooks in best of 1.
What's next?
Do you want to do Agaru? Should we strip that band-aid off?
Put it in. I think it's strong because this deck shit has. Bro, which we topped last week. Shut the fuck up.
It topped the previous format.
Yeah, it topped. Oh, what? It's a strong pick.
It topped the previous format and just got a new card.
Yeah, it's just got.
It's still
the delay
Spirit
is really
Evolution.
good in this.
Play Spirit.
The delay is really good in this.
You can also play the Takuya because you're playing red Tamers because Takuya Koji. So it just randomly just gives you a free fucking.
You can make this thing on your opponent's turn now, Marcio.
It's bottom of strong pick.
I'm a hater, so I'm not gonna speak on the deck. I'm just a hater. I just think this deck is like poo poo. It's such a like nothing deck.
How did we go so long without ranking armor? Please let's rank armor.
I think it's viable.
Really? I think it's like pretty strong.
Yeah, I think
let's downplay it.
It doesn't matter
for your event.
Yeah.
If you go extra or if you win, it's the same result.
Put it top of viable.
No, put it in strong. It's annoying and it's really one note, but it's going to do better.
Misinformation campaign here, Tom.
Sorry. Well, then we got to move Tyrant back up to meta.
But when my opponent is in the misinformation competition and he sends me the wrong address.
When my opponent.
Okay.
Shout out Autist on Twitter. I saw that one for him.
There's a couple maybe stinkers in here, guys. Actually, Axel did top a serious event, so it did merit its inclusion in this tier list. Not a
Rogue.
bit.
No.
Yeah,
Rogue.
I like it.
Rogue.
I like how Chaosmon looks, so it's going
Sure.
with Rogue.
Can we
Yeah.
put Real Star
It's
viable?
my tier list. He's not funny but doggy. He's
Can we
just
put it
cool.
top of viable?
Top of viable.
Yeah, he's right. If anything,
yeah.
it might actually be a strong pick.
So like the thing with the musket deck is like you can play either the like Gundra like turbo or you can play like the
No.
like Appmon stuff.
Yes.
There's like two look, man.
No, there's not.
I browse in certain spaces and I'm just communicating what I see without giving away sauce. Okay.
Sure,
like,
sure. Tessera is literally playing it on Eagle's Nest live streams, bro.
Yeah, but he's
You
playing
just-
the Gundra turbo version.
Yeah, but he's doing it with the Atmon Crazy Cycle plus Bananas for Droop. Like, it's just like the deck does donuts on people.
Two broken eggs still make an omelet, you know.
Sure, good point.
Well, I just came up with that one off the fly, by the way. Am I
Oh.
cooking or what? You know,
Oh,
am I
bad.
shooting it up?
There's a lot of promos left to rank here. I think Mastodon is funny, but dog,
Jesus, fucking this
you
deck
can't
sucks.
play it when Galactic exists. It's
Yeah.
This
not
deck
possible.
sucks so bad. Ancient
Uh,
Greymon, get the shit out of here.
Rogue. I think it'll sack someone.
Yeah, it
Ugh.
will. That's all.
Yeah.
Gaiumon. Gaiumon's kind of fun.
It's kind of
I-
sick, actually.
I think it's a viable option. I think it's like Commandramon.
I think it's like it does the opposite of the Greymon deck, and I think like it's fucking sick that it does
Now
that.
we're cooking with eggs is crazy.
I think it's like if you evaluate the Warg deck, the Wargreymon, Gaiumon is like does everything that deck doesn't want to do. It doesn't really
That's
want
a
to
great
swing.
way to look at that. Yeah.
It wants to just fucking sit there and look at you like an asshole and burn security, and then eventually just go boom, and then you die.
It's
I
kind
think
of
the deck
like
is sick.
it's like Black Wargreymon X if it wasn't like boring.
Goramon. Can we pretend that this is purple Gora? Ahahaha.
Do you think it makes that much of a difference, to be honest?
Yeah, purple to black.
Like no, but like, does having all the things that go right for Gora really get it higher on this list? I don't think it's ever leaving viable.
Timber Jambo is like the biggest like champion of this deck. He fucking loves this shit, but like I never
Oh.
see him play it.
Sorry, I was caught.
Gora.
Oh, yeah, it's alright.
What the hell,
W.
man? I was like kind of counting on you.
Andrew,
I've-
put it in.
I've-
Yeah, it's all right.
I've always think purple base is subjectively better, but like people are like it's like
I want to play the black
I don't
base
like
'cause
I don't like playing purple cards. I don't like playing the meta.
he's right
I
there.
like playing the
He's right there in the chat, by the way. He knows who he is.
No, but Harry knows that purple's better. That's why I
Yeah,
can.
but he's
you know,
gonna go. But I want to use the cards that were printed for me, and it's like, look, you did get new cards. That is like a statement that is true.
Ghost is
but-
fun.
You know.
They need to print one more. If they print one more good Kosuke,
No,
I could see
that's a-
black base being better. But
they need to figure out a way for you to just play this fucking guy that isn't just from your hand. It should just be like a level whatever that lets you get the guy from literally anywhere but hand. If this deck could
You
load
just
from
cursed it. They're
trash,
getting it.
Does
They're
the
getting it from
Edgermon
security.
load-
You just cursed it.
Does the Edgermon load from hand or trash?
hand only.
Hand
yeah,
only.
they literally have made it so this deck doesn't. They printed Deluga because he's the protagonist. They
Yeah.
wrote from trash because he's the protagonist.
The new cards are all objectively good. Unsuspending your whole board sick. The new Death X is fucking sick. But it's
Read
like,
the
why would I ever
Seekers
do that?
manga now.
Why would I ever do that when I could just play the good version and be like, I'll evolve from the trash and get my tamer from the trash, and I'll have purple cards as well. I'm going to ruin mode you. I'm going to use Beelzemon and Blastoise if I feel like it. I have like Hellugar to proc my unsuspends when I want to. Like, I don't know. It's always hard for me to go like, oh yeah, black base for sure. Other than protection, but like Royal Knights doesn't care. Like, what are you interacting with?
This is-
Dorbick is.
This Chronicle,
of-
but we're
Yeah,
finishing
that is
with
actually Chronicle.
I'll give up for me. It's
Yes.
I know it's better than freaking Lugamon.
just play normal alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chronicle is.
But
Unless,
the tamers,
unless
Gemmo.
we want it to be like the Giga C box.
That's kind of what I'm saying. I was actually going to
Oh,
talk
right,
about
I
that.
see.
I think the engine can get it out of complete crapper tier. So I would at least let it be Rogue, yeah.
Yeah.
And now for the final deck. Finally, we are free from this tier list.
I think Dorbick is a strong pick.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I get.
This deck is
see.
insane though. It's just people aren't very fucking with it.
Yeah, I legit think it's a strong pick. The number one problem this thing has is that it loses to the fucking same floodgates as Crossart and Royal Knights. And
also,
sorry.
No, you do your thing. You do your thing.
No, if you haven't played, like, there sometimes Dorbick lethal looks like Dorbick for 3, another Dorbick for like 10, and then that one has Blitz. Like, you just lose to stupid shit now because of Owen Dreadnought. The new cards are great. The Cyberdramon is a 4K DP inherit. It's so good. The Medusomon cards are better served in Dorbick. That's my personal opinion.
I will say that this deck, like, in a format where everybody is doing like independent game plan stuff, like, is like awesome. This deck will 5-check you and you die. But any like format where the deck has to like contest something, I'm not like super comfortable on it. Like Galacti, I know we're using Galacti as like a gatekeeper against a lot of these decks, but like Galacti or like Courage United or like Volder Arm, it's like, what do you do?
If it folded those decks, I think it would be format defining. But like, it is going to lose to protected good stuff.
Yeah.
That's just red.
Megidra sometimes can outpace it. Like,
that's true.
Gaining a lot of DP and having like recursion, I think, is really good for the deck. It means that you don't have like the Agumon is like, oh, cool. Like your Dorbics are in security are now in your hand for like no cost. Like, sure, slam for 3.
You also like, it's kind of weird. You don't actually have to play as many Dorbics anymore because the Agumon adds it back. So like,
but you'll still play the 4.
Sure, but like I'm saying, it's like it lets you play like a more you can kind of like analog youth your shit now, because you don't really mind if things get lost, and it's like a very efficient, quick draw. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, kind of. I don't disagree.
So I think the deck is improved in a major way by Agumon and Owen.
All right, we're finally done. This only took like.
Oh, guys, I'm getting a notification in my ear from this real headset. Jambo, can you do like a breaking news bulletin, please?
Breaking news. That's all.
Thank you, Jambo. That was great. Jambo reporting live at the scene. Guys, we totally forgot. Where do we rank Terriermon, the last of the Tamers trio that didn't make the cut?
Why are we? There's not even a picture for it.
Oh, good. That's where we're ranking Terriermon.
Did somebody ask about it? Why are we just like?
We get asked about it almost every format. Yeah, you know what? Everyone smile for the camera for all the people that skipped to the end. Like, splendid. Thank you, audio listeners, as well, for tuning in to what I'm sure is a really easy episode to follow if you don't have visual prompt. Be sure to go into the comments and let us know where you would move things.
Yeah, please tell me why you disagree with me. Actually, that's exactly.
Yeah. Let me know why I'm wrong for having tier one in red.
Yeah, please tell me how cool and awesome your like fucking what's like a deck that people are like, oh, but this deck is
it's Galacticmon, by the way. Those people are all Galacticmon players.
I'm able to beat this deck because
a well-timed Gaia Force beats everything.
But yeah, this is a fun one.
Keeps on giving.
I'm an enjoyer of happiness, some would say.
Thanks for coming down for this one, Jambo. It's always a pleasure to have you on the tier list. Thanks to everyone that tuned in.
I love it.
I don't know about pleasure, but you know, we definitely.
Do you want to plug anything, Jambo TCG?
My Twitter. It's officially Jambo TCG now. I changed it, so it actually is Jambo TCG. So if you want to come follow me on Twitter, I tweet the best takes about the game and I tweet some proper bullshit. So yeah, Tournament
I'm
runs.
gonna dead name you.
What the fuck?
He's Godfist Jambo in my
dude,
heart.
Okay? Jamer Tambo. I can't stand you, Jamer Tambo.
Jamjo.
Tournament runs will all get posted. I've been doing this thing now at a regional where I just record myself after a round and just like a 20-second video.
Will you please go back to being like you have 4 players at your locals again? That made me laugh like every time.
But yeah, this is going to be episode 45. We're coming up on a year. We're also coming up on nearly 50 members. So big thank you to all of the members that have been doing it. If you want ad-free content and stuff early, cool. Champions, you're going to get something new. We're first going to go stand up and walk around, take a break, but we'll figure out something to do. Maybe we'll even put together a list of 100 Digimon personalities that we would use to fight a gorilla.
Can we do a?
I don't think there's 100 players who play Digimon.
Can we do a just like favorites picker this time on Boko? I like those.
Yeah, we'll do a nice simple Boko. We'll get that one
Oh my
out.
god, we'll rank Atmon.
You guys can do that.
Yeah, I'm going bed. I'm going
Can I
bed.
get a?
If you
Can
guys
I
want to hear what God's least favorite Atmon boy, think about Atmon, watch the Boko.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So we've made more people angry, so we'll make more people angry in like a month if you're not a champion or higher. But yeah, the bit that everyone's waiting for, so we can finally free people from this viewership hell. But you know, subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow if you're on Twitch, and we'll see you in the next one.
Baba Booey is
Baba
format
Booey.
defining.
Baba
It's format
Booey.
defining. It's Baba
Can I
Booey,
get 3
baby.
big Baba Booies for this?
Baba
tier list?
Booey. Baba Booey. Baba